30-24. They're 3-4 on the season. They return to action Sunday in Atlanta against the Falcons. Houston Texans now with a 2-game lead over the Indianapolis Colts, plus the tiebreaker. They sweep the Colts for the season. Texans return to action on a short week. They'll take on the Jets Thursday night, a game you can catch right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Cowboys lose last night. It went better than expected. Why is everybody bitching today? I don't understand.
What do you mean better than expected?
They made it a game. It was only a 6-point loss. Everybody said they were going to get run out of the building.
Who said that?
You did.
I said
all
get
three
run
of
out
us
the
on
building.
Friday picked San Francisco to win in a rout. And we were right. So I don't understand Cowboy fans' angst today when nobody I know, with the exception of an odd video that Michael Irvin posted on Sunday, everybody expected the Cowboys to lose. Why is everybody so grumpy today when it comes to the Cowboys?
Because you got a quarterback that's stuck with you for the next 5 years that sucks.
Well, you know what, Joe? You and your low-hanging fruit that you always reach for, he was going to be the quarterback this year anyway.
He was.
So does it matter? It's not like Dak wasn't going to be the quarterback. The only difference is this year, the interception machine is back. You know, we thought he got that out of his system. This year, the interceptions are back, but in reality, he's the same guy that was going to be the quarterback, whether Jerry signed him in August or not.
Well, at least you'd have light at the end of the tunnel.
Would you?
Yeah, of course you would.
I mean, at least
light at the end of the tunnel, because you know that he could go off into free agency or whatever else, and the Cowboys could basically start over.
Yeah.
With some money to spend, by the way.
They
could
still
do all
have
of that.
money to spend. They do.
Not a lot.
They got plenty.
Not a lot.
They just have to decide to go spend it.
Yeah.
They have to decide to go spend it. You've got a great video up
at
sasportstar.com on Instagram where, I don't know, it looks like the same video from 3 weeks ago or the week before that, or it's all Dak's fault.
Well, Dak keeps giving me ammunition.
Well,
isn't that nice of him?
It really
is.
He's
the gift that keeps giving.
Unlike Trayvon Diggs, he understands football and just wants to make it easy for you.
That's it.
It's exactly
right.
what it is.
Yes. I don't know, man. I hear all the excuses too. Right? I hear all the excuses.
Who's making excuses?
Dak's pressing. He's pressing. He's trying to do it all himself. He's trying to do it all himself. He's pressing. He's got no head coach. The head coach is horrible today.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. And I think he was pretty good last year calling plays. This year, all of a sudden, he sucks. Let's see. What else do I hear? I guess that's it. That's enough.
It is weird. And because Dak has not been good this year. Last year, Dak played at an MVP type level, and he finished second in MVP voting. We're not getting anywhere near that Dak Prescott.
No.
And that's a problem. And why is that a bigger problem this year than it was last year? He had a better roster around him, which was a frustration I had, and we talked about this a lot. We know what Dak is, and Dak is a high-caliber quarterback. Again, finished second in MVP voting. He's only going to take you so far. Jerry Jones this year is trying to get him to do more with less instead of more with more, which is proven to be a bad philosophy by Jerry Jones. Dak can't do more with less. We know what he can do with what he's had. Can you get him some more help? Because even yesterday, and again, he's been average this year at best, and he was okay at times last night and threw a couple of boneheaded interceptions. Could have had a couple of more interceptions thrown, but then he also makes an incredible throw to Turpin, bounces off his face mask. So when you need your teammates to help you out, he's not getting it. I mean, it's just the idea that everything is just where it is. Mike McCarthy and his creative play calling. Did he forget how to call plays, all kinds of it. Kurt Warner, Jerry Jones said bad concepts, bad play designs last week. Kurt Warner on Twitter blasts the play calling. I saw Orlovsky, blasting the play calling and the creativity in the offense. It's not like Mike McCarthy forgot how to call plays, but is he trying to call the best plays that he can with the personnel that he has? And it's just crap because he doesn't have as talented of a roster.
Well, but he's got to figure that out. He's an NFL head coach. He's a play caller. He wanted that job.
Yep.
So you know what you've got. Well, design some plays that might work with.
But is that what he's trying to do? Again, I'm trying to go not just on the surface, the obvious, but coming out of halftime, your first down play after San Francisco drives down and scores is a tight end in the flat that's going to get you at best 5 yards, and instead it got you none. That's the best you could do. Let's
still a lot of time left.
On third and 5, let's hand it to the fullback. All right, I mean, honestly,
he was trying to trick him, Jason.
On the scripted plays. On the scripted plays. All right, man, we're going to win the toss. We're going to take the opening kick. I've got my best scripted plays ready to go. Gee, are you all right? I'm telling you, it just drives me nuts. On the scripted plays, Mike McCarthy is awful. Has been awful this year. When they get in the 2-minute, the 4-minute, they seem to be doing pretty good. And in reality, if you look at yesterday's game, offensively and defensively, give that defense some credit. They played well for 3 quarters. That third quarter was a disaster. But the first half, and even in the fourth quarter, when the defense had to make some stops to give the offense a bit of a chance, even though I never felt like the Cowboys were actually going to go win that thing, the defense made stops. That third quarter was just a freaking disaster. But outside of that, this Cowboy team didn't play bad.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Well, exactly. I'm with you, though. But honestly, what were they doing in those other quarters, and then what went wrong in the third?
Well, they're not coming out ready to play, obviously, in the third quarter because they're getting killed in the third quarter every single game.
Yep.
Look, and again, it goes back. I'll give the defense some credit. They gave Dak an opportunity to go and make the winning drive, and the guy goes 4 and out and just – it wasn't even close.
No, it was bad.
It was horrible. So, I mean, even given a chance to lead a game-winning drive, he has one this year, and that was in Pittsburgh. But he had an opportunity and couldn't get it done, and not even close. And I honestly, watching Dak Prescott last night and watching Brock Purdy killed the Cowboys with his legs.
He did.
I don't think Dak can do that anymore.
He can't.
Well, that's a problem, is it not?
Well, I mean, there are other statue quarterbacks in the league, and they have to learn how to play that way. But most statue quarterbacks at least have a run game that they can rely on. The Cowboys do not. Zeke, 34 yards on 10 carries.
Rico was out. Come on.
Dalvin Cook, 6 carries for 12 yards. Well on pace for that 1,000 you guaranteed.
That's right. I'm halfway there.
I mean, the Cowboys had 19 rushing plays yesterday for 56 total yards. Brock Purdy had 8 carries yesterday for 56 total yards.
Purdy was killing him with his legs. And then they got this kid who came out of nowhere. I can't even say his last name.
Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac.
I mean, why do other teams just have running backs ready to go and the Cowboys don't? I mean, they showed Dalvin Cook before the game. I thought he got one of those little airport flight bottles of vodka. I'm not sure what that was.
That's a 5-hour energy, wasn't it?
He's wearing 20 and Zeke's wearing 15, and I was like, man, if this were 2015, that'd be a hell of a backfield.
Yeah, it would be. You're exactly right.
Good
that would be
Lord.
Good. San Francisco obviously has some issues. They do. They're losing guys, but they're starting to get healthy. Mm-hmm. George Kittle killed Dallas along with Brock Purdy.
Well, it was National Tight End Day. The Cowboys followed the script.
Well, Travis Kelce finally had a game. He was waiting for today, too. So it should look. They can't beat San Francisco. I mean, let's face it.
Well, they can't beat a lot of people right now. They're not a good football team.
They're not.
And I mean, go back to what we talked about. It was a weird training camp. We talked about that. We talked about it in the offseason. I thought this team was better than it is, but I wasn't expecting much. I thought, what did we talk about? They're going to get 8, 9, 10 wins. And they still might, although I'm not sure how. Because right now.
The next 4 games are tough.
The next 4 games are tough. And, where their injuries are on that defensive line. Although, again, credit the defense yesterday. Mike Zimmer had those guys playing well, with the exception of the third quarter. They did a good job in getting after the quarterback, but clearly not good enough. And again, you can't take out that third quarter, but you can't dismiss the good play that they did have throughout. Can they figure out ways to do that more against other teams? What can they learn from that? Because, in reality, they were a lot more competitive than I thought they would be against big, bad San Francisco.
Well, and again, I mean, both teams banged up, and so I don't think there's any surprise there. I didn't expect San Francisco to blow out Dallas. Never thought that would happen. But I just think that there's a lot of problems. The biggest problem's that offensive line, and it's not the rookies.
No,
it's Terrence Steele, who's just getting killed. And all of them, that entire offensive line is not good at all. And so I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do or if they're going to do anything. But they need so much help. And then you get a cornerback who lagging, gets called out by a Dallas TV guy.
Yeah.
And rightly so if you watch the play. I don't know what's going on with this Dallas team, but they just don't seem interested sometimes in playing football.
It's the pressure when you're not living up to expectations. You're not playing well. Nobody's playing well. I mean, I am sick and tired of Mike McCarthy saying we just got to execute better.
Yeah.
How about call better plays, Mike McCarthy? I mean, Mike McCarthy, and this was, we all saw this coming. You're a coach that doesn't have a year after this on your contract. You're a dead man walking, and you're coaching like it. You look frightened. You look, I mean, the only guy that looks dumber today is that Eberflus guy in Chicago, and he's soon to be the former head coach of the Chicago Bears.
And should have been.
Hearing his comments after the game yesterday and the way they completely pooped the bed is, fireable. I mean, it's almost comical sometimes. And again, whether it's Eberflus or McCarthy, Trayvon Diggs, yeah, you're right, Trayvon. We can't do what you do. You're special. That's why you're in the league doing what you're doing. But don't insult our intelligence with your comments.
Exactly.
Whether you're a coach or a player, I mean, you're making business decisions out there.
Well, he needs to stop making business decisions. He already got a hell of a contract. He needs to start playing football.
Yep.
Or the Cowboys need to get rid of him. Just because your last name is Diggs doesn't make you special. He's had one good year. One.
But when was the last time, honestly, and I know I can look this up, that the defense actually created a takeaway? I know Dak gives the ball away like it's Christmas. So, I mean, but is the defense, remember that defense was such a ball-hawking defense?
Yes.
It feels like forever since the Cowboys had a takeaway. And, again, Diggs, you got paid a lot of money for that.
Yep.
A lot of money. I mean, Bland hasn't been there all year. I know they've got some takeaways, but for the life of me, I'm trying to remember. When was the last time they actually got a takeaway?
I honestly don't know.
I mean, Goldston had an interception just dropped through his hands yesterday.
Yes, he did.
That could have been a pick six.
Could have been.
It's just weird. Yesterday, nothing went right. I mean, could they even run a special teams play without getting a penalty? They got penalized yesterday for lining up wrong on a kickoff, for lining up wrong on a kick return. The great Dan Bailey misses the landing zone. And then they run a reverse and they get a penalty for that. Like, they couldn't do a damn thing right yesterday.
Unbelievable. Still had a chance, though.
They only lost by 6.
They put the ball in Dak's hands to get it done.
Well, he is the quarterback.
Yeah.
You realize that's how it works.
Well, I do realize that, but he didn't get it done.
Yeah, it was all Dak. He lost all by himself.
Well, he contributed greatly. 2 picks.
2
horrible.
picks. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, yes, he contributed.
He did.
Greatly.
He did.
To that loss.
Yep.
Brock Purdy was the best quarterback on the field last night.
He was. Lowest paid guy on the field, too.
That's right.
I mean, a long snapper's making more than that dude.
I'm telling you.
Until he actually gets paid.
Lot to dive into.
I know.
We get to hear.
But apparently we're just going to blame Dak for the next 4 hours.
Because he's frustrated.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you're frustrated. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there as well. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Hey, let's talk about Stevens Roofing because they are a champion. They get it done. I've been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time now. Family-owned company, local company. And your roof, well, it's really the most important part of your house, or certainly one of the things, and you want your family to be taken care of and everything that you find valuable. So you want to make sure that you have a reliable roofer. That is Stevens Roofing. And they can do it all. They're equipped to do anything. Commercial projects, you want a metal roof on your house. Stevens Roofing can do that as well. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free at 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and everybody else on the planet, it seems these days, you're looking to save a little money and you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing has you covered there as well. Look, solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They can often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What Mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish, chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8th, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at Robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodities interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at Robinhood.com/election.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
What's on? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. Same on Instagram. In fact, if you go to the Instagram right now, you can hear Reinagel, watch Reinagel bitching about Dak Prescott.
No, I'm bitching about Jerry Jones, actually.
Well, but it's about Dak Prescott.
Because Jerry made a huge mistake.
Time will tell that.
Huge mistake.
Dak would be the quarterback this year, whether he signed or not. Which does make me wonder about the overall plan for the Cowboys, which, again, Dak is not playing at the level he was expected to play at. He's been average at best this year, and he's back to throwing interceptions.
2 a game.
2 a game. In the last 3.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know it. He's got 8, just in case you wanted to know the total.
Had 9 all of last year.
Yeah, he's going. Well, he'll surpass that pretty quickly.
I mean, he might set a record. I mean, I think the idea that, I don't know what I see last night. Last quarterback for the Cowboys to throw 2 in a game, 3 straight was Troy Aikman. Yeah. And Troy ended up winning Super Bowls after that year. So, I mean, maybe there's hope. Or maybe there's not. There's a lot of issues with the Cowboys. Cowboy fans are frustrated, but so is number 4.
I mean, me personally frustrated. Frustrated myself, my play. I imagine the rest of the guys are. Not getting a win. 2 in a row. Sitting at 3 and 4. But I can definitely tell you that nobody's shaking or giving up. Frustration is very high. But it's a long season. I mean, it's a long season. Division games, a lot are still ahead of us. Frustrated. That's the best way that I can put it.
Wow. Mm-hmm. It's a long season. It's early. You see, Dak and I think alike.
Yeah.
It's early.
You had another crappy week with your picks.
I did, didn't I?
You did.
Damn.
You did. But it's early.
It's early.
There's hope.
Yes, there's hope.
There's hope. You sound like Dak.
I'm frustrated as hell. But it's early.
Again, and if you're Dak Prescott, you're not playing well, and you have other teammates that aren't playing well either. And it all snowballs. But when you're the quarterback, you're going to get all the blame.
Yep.
And, that comes with the territory. He knows that. He also knows he can't turn the ball over.
Yeah, not turn the ball over, period. As I said, I don't have to be perfect, but I damn sure can't be having the turnovers. As I said, I just got to eat that one, take that sack. And then the second one was as bonehead of an interception as I feel like I've had. Trying to make a play. Too much confidence in myself in that moment right there. Probably just should have. Obviously should have just thrown it away. Would have. Wish I would have put a little bit more like heat on it, and therefore, it would have been CD or out of bounds. So, and then that one hurt. Starting off the third quarter that way. Allowed them to get a touchdown there. Look at the end of the score. Touchdown's the difference. Once again, we put ourselves behind in the turnover battle, and that's on me. And can't have that if you're playing to win games, and I've got to clean that up, period.
I mean, he does. And I have too much confidence in myself. Is that what he said? This guy's not a rookie or even a second-year player. I mean, he's a veteran NFL quarterback.
He is, and he thinks he can make every throw. You hear that. And one thing I always appreciate honesty from guys, but sometimes, kind of like Anthony Richards, sometimes you just don't say things. Right? Sometimes maybe you shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You feel like you can make every throw out there. You can't.
I mean, you got to be smart with the football, and that's what he's got to know, right? I mean, he's right. That pass had to be for CD to catch and nobody, and if CD doesn't catch it, then it's in the first row. I mean, it's just, I don't know. The guy was covered. I mean, he was covered like a blanket.
Yeah, but again, you got CD, just throw it. I'll get it, right? I mean,
they did say that.
He has said that. Just put it in the area now, and I'll go get it. I mean, that's the stuff that is frustrating, that you don't expect from a quarterback that has the skins on the wall that Dak Prescott has. What is going on? You heard Collinsworth talking about his footwork. His footwork is off. I don't know how his footwork gets off. What's going on in the offense? You get all these experts now talking about, the offense isn't right for Dak, or the play calling is bad. I mean, this is the same offense last year that put up a ton of yards and a ton of points last year, and he was second in MVP in voting, right?
Right.
This is year 2 in that offense. It should be better. Why is it regressing so much?
Well, I think the offensive line is a big problem. I mean, whatever you think of Tyron Smith, when he's healthy, he's pretty good. I would say, Hall of Famer. You got 2 rookies, and you got a Terrence Steele, and even a Zach Martin, who's not playing well. I would have to believe that Zach's going to look in the mirror after this season's over and say, you know what, I could be doing better things.
I mean, Zach Martin didn't. I mean, he gave up a sack yesterday. Terrence Steele is turned into Turnstile Terrence.
My goodness.
I mean, we had Turnstile Traylor early in the year. Now we got turnstiles on either end. That's a problem.
Hell, your best offensive lineman right now, you could say, is Cooper Beebe, your center.
I mean, Tyler Smith is still pretty good, but I'm with you. I mean, the tackle position has got to be better, and how they don't design plays to give those guys any help. We saw Dak having some success yesterday rolling out, but you don't see enough of that.
Nope.
And is that just because that's not a natural part of the offense, or is it the play calling has gotten so, I don't know, elementary, because Mike McCarthy knows that he can't design plays where Dak has to hold the ball? I mean, there are a couple of plays yesterday where Dak's about to get killed, and you look down, and every receiver's 35 yards down the field. He doesn't have time for those guys to get down there. I mean, so I don't know what they do. I mean, that play where Zeke killed that guy with that rib shot. If Zeke doesn't do that, Dak's probably dead, but nobody could get open downfield, and everybody, there was no underneath, there was no outlet route.
Nothing.
And that's where you look at the play design and go, well, this doesn't make any damn sense. But
Yeah.
I don't know football, according to Trayvon Diggs. None of us in the media do.
Well, of course not. We don't. We can't do what he does.
No. Although I could go out there and miss tackles with the best of them.
I could
And I could do those. I could go Olay defense with George Kittle coming at me for a hell of a lot cheaper than Trayvon Diggs.
Well, I tell you, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I'd take half his salary to go do that.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Half?
I'd love it.
20%.
20%?
His
Okay.
agent fee.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. It was just unbelievable. When I saw that, and I didn't see that particular tweet until this morning, and I'm looking at the play, and I keep watching it, and, hey, Mike Leslie is absolutely correct, and he just asked a question, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And obviously Trayvon has got thin skin, apparently, when it comes to that.
Frustration.
Because he wasn't happy.
Frustration.
Yeah.
All in all, though, last night, you can find positives if you're the Cowboys. First half, fourth quarter, but what the hell went wrong in that third quarter?
Yeah, definitely. Third quarter was obviously a factor in the outcome. The 3-3 and outs on offense, and the one giveaway and obviously, their point and really production there. But yeah, I mean, you have ebb and flows of the game. We definitely stayed in that valley way too long. So, we felt solid at halftime. That they were +5 ahead of us in the big play. But Purdy, making plays with his feet, and the 3 and outs. We didn't give our defense any relief either, too. But I thought our guys did an excellent job fighting back in the fourth quarter. We just need to make probably 1 or 2 more plays. Particularly on it, they still have a chance to go down and win it there in the last series on offense. So we're disappointed. I think our guys, our men really had a good week of preparation. I thought there's definitely areas of improvement, but still we have a ton to work on. I mean, it's there's some hard matchups throughout the game that we prepared for and we didn't get it done. So we have to go back and continue to work hard, in the planning part of it, because their key players were very productive, tonight. And so when you put together a plan to for that, it's you obviously need to execute it, and so coaches and players, we can learn from this, and we're 3-4. That's the facts of this deal. But I felt very confident, based off of the week preparation. We're disappointed. We're disappointed because we obviously felt we were going to come in here and do what we needed to do to get the win. We came up short.
Yeah, you came up short, but you only lost by 6 points.
Yeah,
that's all.
I mean, I don't know. All those 3 and out.
If you're a Cowboy,
play caller,
if you're a Cowboys head coach or any coach for that matter, or even a player, don't you hate the fact that you got to wait a week? I mean, you got to deal with this all week long now. All week long, talking about all the stuff. I mean, it's like,
well,
it's
I mean,
too
they
bad.
waited
It's
2
not,
weeks after the last egg that they laid. I mean, this was a prettier egg. I mean, they only lost by 6.
Jeez.
I mean, all those 3 and outs. That all comes back to the play caller, right? Does it not? I mean, think about those plays in that third quarter that they ran. That's on Mike McCarthy. The play calling was awful in that third quarter. I mean, give yourself a chance. And again, go back to the reasons he decided that Kellen Moore was not good for this team anymore. Wasn't it the same kind of thing? Too many 3 and outs, not being balanced enough to help out your defense when your defense is just getting trucked, and that's what you're coming up with as a play caller?
I mean, in that anytime during the game, you got guys, you got Zeke Elliott and you got Dalvin Cook. Why did each one of those guys should have had 15 carries last night? Run the football, or at least try to get somebody into a rhythm. And I just don't. That's going to slow down a pass rush. It's going to help out your offensive line.
Yep,
all of that kind of stuff. So here's the problem with the third quarter. What are they doing at halftime? I mean, are they having a cup of coffee? Or are they just kicking
clearly
back,
they're not getting perked up,
getting massages? I mean, something is happening in the halftime locker room. The Cowboys come out, and they're just not ready to play. Obviously, San Francisco was down at halftime, and they knew they had to play better. And they did. And they came out, I mean, with their hair on fire and took it to the Cowboys.
Yep.
I mean, you could say that's coaching. You could say that's, I don't know, undisciplined players that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing and coming out ready to play.
Well, halftime adjustments are made.
And that too.
And I don't know what the Cowboys are doing, but I'll go back to play calling, and like you said, none of those running backs could get into a rhythm. Zeke actually looked better than I thought with some of the carries that he did have. Dalvin Cook, I don't know. Did we see him?
Not very much.
I just, and again, Mike McCarthy, even if you're not getting yards, let's go back to the reasons he got rid of Kellen Moore. Sometimes you have to run the ball to help the defense. Apparently he forgot that as the play caller. I mean, I know we'd all be bitching if they went 3 and out on 3 run plays, but at least a couple of minutes would have gone off the clock and not 18 seconds.
Exactly.
Let's run a none-yard pass on the first play of the third quarter to the tight end. Well, that's brilliant.
Zeke could have done that.
Well, exactly. I mean, I just the play calling is right up there with the level of frustration that you're getting from the Cowboys. And again, That's on Mike McCarthy as the head coach, but also the play caller.
Maybe he should relinquish those duties. Fire himself.
That's not going to happen.
I'm just saying, fire Mike.
I mean,
look in the mirror and Mike, you're just not getting the job done,
look,
buddy.
Jerry.
We're going to let Shoddy do it.
Jerry did say bad play calling, bad play design, right? I mean, Jerry said that the other day.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yes, he did.
And
I wonder what Jerry will say tomorrow.
And you wonder how close is Mike McCarthy to completely losing this locker room.
Woo! Or has he already?
Big question.
A lot of frustration.
Big questions for sure. Let's go around the NFL. There was some wildness throughout the league. Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Of course, tonight that you want to be in a place like the Roo Pub with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. You want to be at the Roo Pub tonight. You have Monday Night Football. You have Game 3 of the World Series. You got Spurs and Rockets. So get into the Roo Pub and go hungry. The food is fantastic. The biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu. Great salads, great appetizers. And that kitchen is open late with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. The best place to watch a game. If you missed the big Halloween party over the weekend, you missed. But Thursday night, actual Halloween night, they're doing an employee costume contest. I highly recommend you get into the Roo Pub on Thursday to celebrate. The Roo Pub just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, did the Steelers find the cure or are the Giants back? And Rockets Spurs Part 2. Could the Spurs win back-to-back? We'll talk all that and more. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Saturday, be at the Alamo Dome as your UTSA Roadrunners take on the Memphis Tigers. And remember to wear black. It's the Lights Out game and UTSA salute to local businesses. Tickets start at just $21 at GoUTSA.com. It's the UTSA Roadrunners hosting the Memphis Tigers this Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football, it's more than a game. It's an experience.
George gets justice. The attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers are proud of their local roots and their deep connection to San Antonio. They stand up for their neighbors, fight for justice, and make sure every voice is heard. When you've been injured in an accident, count on George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George guarantees that you don't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Macy's Friends and Family is going on right now, and it's the best time to shop for all the gatherings and gifting ahead. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest trends, new arrivals, and the best brands like Karl Lagerfeld Paris, Steve Madden, Hotel Collection, and more. And get 15% off beauty too. Plus, get free shipping with any $25 purchase today at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Smoky Moe's Texas Barbecue, the best neighborhood barbecue in San Antonio, is now taking orders for Thanksgiving smoked turkeys and holiday parties. Hurry, their whole smoked turkeys sell out every year. Order a freshly smoked, perfectly seasoned turkey and add their delicious side dishes for your best Thanksgiving dinner ever. Having a holiday party? Let Smoky Moe's bring the food. Choose from their classic Texas barbecue to their special holiday catering menu. Order now at SmokyMoe'sBBQ.com or call a Smoky Moe's near you. Smoky Moe's, the pit is is lit.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at tsaog.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always comment there on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. While you're there, hit the thumbs up. Comments, they're always entertaining.
Always.
Just kind of like they are on social media as well. At Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix, at, is this G_C_H, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. McCarthy, the head coach, looking at McCarthy, the OC, in the mirror, and it's Pinocchio saying you have potential.
Yeah.
Which is comical.
His nose grows.
67. I only listen on Mondays after a Dallas debacle. Joe kills Dak and is right. Jason just apologizes for the whole team. I mean,
they know you well.
Hey, and again, Dak wasn't good yesterday, and he certainly wasn't good enough, and he hasn't been good this year. He's been average at best. He's back to the turnover machine, Dak Prescott, but he's not the only one. I mean, there's a lot of bad to go around, but I know everybody just likes to blame Dak Prescott. I like to spread the blame game around a little bit.
Well, it's nice of you to do that.
Yeah.
And Mike McCarthy seems to be your target today.
I'm pissed at Mike McCarthy.
Well, I don't understand. He was the greatest coach ever last year.
No, actually,
he was the best.
Nobody actually said that.
I think it was words to that effect.
Not even close.
He was the greatest.
Not even
Look
close.
what he did with Dak. Look at second in MVP voting.
All of it true. And you also have heard me say a gazillion times he's done nothing to deserve an extension, but also nothing to get fired over. But you can't have a coach in a lame duck situation.
You can't.
And that is what Jerry has.
He should have fired him.
Or extend him. One or the other.
He should have fired him.
And the idea with Dak, whether Jerry should have or shouldn't have, and again, falls on deaf ears, I would move on from Dak. Jerry didn't plan for life after Dak. Yeah, we got him for 5 more years. They shouldn't have signed him. They did.
Could have had Jameis Winston.
Why focus on stuff that doesn't matter? I don't let that kind of stuff eat me up. He's there for 5 years. Can't do anything about it now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fun stuff.
Wow.
Fun stuff. Could have had Jameis Winston.
Could have had Jameis Winston. He was just sitting there.
Dude, he was. And again, could have, should have. They're not going to trade for Jameis now. Again, because you just signed at Dak for 5 years.
I know.
Right?
Get ready. He's
all these ideas of what they could do now were just stupid.
He's like Uncle. Right? He's like Uncle Dak. He's like that uncle that comes at Thanksgiving and refuses to leave, gets drunk, pukes all over the house. You know, it's horrible.
I know. Give Jameis Winston a lot of credit. I mean, that guy with his pregame speeches and postgame comments. Pledge, I thought you were going to come back with this, but instead, just might as well just play it now.
Man, it's a white boy from Detroit that I really admire named Eminem. He said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity lasts once in a lifetime. And I know I got a quote, you know, Eminem, he from Detroit, he right up the road, but man, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that the Lord provided me with this opportunity. I'm grateful for my teammates, my coaches, and these amazing fans.
Look, if you had one shot, or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment that you captured, just let it slip. Yo.
Opportunities come once in a lifetime. And with those opportunities, we have to make the most of it. Every one of us have an individual responsibility to go out there and fight for each other. Represent the names on your back, represents the names that's on your helmet. Well, we don't got no decal. So represent the names, all right? One play at a time, all right? Together. All right, here we go. 10, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, let's get it.
It's represented. Oh, we don't have a decal.
We don't have a decal.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, Jameis Winston is fun to listen to, and give him credit.
Yes.
You think about questions. My goodness. How in the hell does Baltimore lose to the Cleveland Browns?
Wow. Well, again, their defense let them down, right? I mean, the Browns rally, and give Jameis credit for that. He played really well yesterday, and the only guy that wasn't happy about that had to be Deshaun Watson. Damn it! How come I couldn't do that?
Well, and again, I mean, they traded away a receiver. They've got all this, and it's just an incredible game for the Browns, but a head-scratcher for Baltimore, especially if you're like me and had Baltimore and plus 8.5. I mean, they were 8.5-point favorites, and I took it. I didn't think the Browns would do a damn thing.
Wow.
Jameis quoting Eminem in his pregame speech.
He could be doing
getting
that
all
in Dallas.
fired up.
Talking Eminem in Dallas, wearing a star in his helmet.
Yeah, sure, except for it's not going to happen.
Wow.
Not going to happen. Pledge, apparently you went down to Houston yesterday. You were at that game, Texans-Colts. Texans tried to blow that game. They really did.
Anthony Richardson, I'm just not sold on the guy. I'm just not. And what he did yesterday actually just reinforced that non-sell.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there, what I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play. So I just, just told Sam I just needed a break right there.
So he takes himself out of the game, and poor Joe Flacco's got to warm up those old bones real quick.
Now,
holy cow. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I have never seen that before.
No.
I've never seen that before in a high school game where quarterbacks run the ball a lot. That's part of the offense. You know what you do when you're tired and the quarterbacks run a couple of times? I don't care what the coach calls. You just a dive play to the run back. Although most offensive coordinators or play callers are going to recognize that. There's some sort of signal. And, yeah, you don't pull yourself out of a game.
No, you don't. But he did.
And you don't admit it. Imagine as offensive linemen. I mean, receivers can do that. Sure, that's part of it. Fresh legs. Never seen that from a quarterback.
I've never seen that before either. And again, I mean, you think about Joe Flacco. I mean, he's sitting over there, not probably just, reading his little tablet or having a conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden, Joe, you got to get in. Quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I was trying to figure out what happened because there was no explanation. He left. I'm looking at the blue tent. It's not up. I didn't find out what had happened until halfway to Columbus.
Oh, that's
on
hilarious.
Your drive home, obviously.
Yes.
It was bizarre. And I'll tell you, Houston, for a good part of that game, looked really, really good. And then you have some areas of the game where you're just not sure. And the injury to Diggs, it'll be interesting to see what the ultimate update is. I haven't seen one. Pledge, have you? How bad is it for Diggs?
They're fearful. It's according to Schefter's latest. They're fearful. It's ACL.
Well, yeah, but nothing official.
Nothing concrete yet.
Right.
He actually walked off the field though on his own power, which I thought was a good sign.
Yeah, but you can do that with any kind of non-contact injury. But I haven't seen anything official, and that would be another weapon.
Ooh, big time.
Down. But CJ looked a hell of a lot better yesterday than a week ago, but then again, it'd be hard for him to look worse than he did a week ago. But again, that was a game where I thought, man, the Texans were going to win going away. It's the Colts. I get it. But
did you lose that one too?
I did.
Well, fortunately for me, I took San Francisco last night. It made everything all better.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And they almost blew it.
They actually
they forgot.
Did you actually
number 88?
Did you actually ever feel like they were going to blow that game? I mean, I know we're trying to do a full segment here, not talk Cowboys, but at what point did you ever feel like, oh man, I might lose this bet?
Well, I did.
I never did.
When they got the ball back, it was like 3+ minutes left, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
And then I was very happy to see number 4 come out and throw the ball everywhere except to where he's supposed to.
You know, you look around Washington and the Chicago Bears.
Oh, my gosh.
You talk about a wild game and dumb football all the way around. Now, credit Washington for getting the win. And Jaden Daniels with the throw. Not only on the Hail Mary play, and Noah Brown, former Cowboy, former Texan, finally makes a damn catch. But the play before that, to get those 13 yards, like what the hell is Chicago doing? I mean, there are a lot of bonehead plays in that Chicago game, and I was watching a lot of it. I mean, let's give it to the lineman was about as dumb as Hunter Lipke running the ball on 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't know. And listening to Rex Ryan, the dad didn't even notice this. I'll give Rex all the credit in the world. The lineman had his hands all taped up, right? It's not like they even untaped them so he could actually handle a football. Like, do you actually practice this stuff? At the end of the game, let's just give them yards in Eberflus. Well, we wanted to make sure they didn't get into field goal range. All right, but you put them in range to throw a Hail Mary. Brilliant, coach. Brilliant. You should be fired for that. And then the idiot over there taunting the crowd who then runs in and deflects the ball up right to Noah Brown.
That was incredible. And credit Jaden Daniels. I mean, I know there was, 2 guys rushing, but still. I mean, that guy bought I don't know how much time to get that football off.
Yeah.
And look, anytime you hit a Hail Mary, it's lucky, right?
Sure.
It's lucky as hell. They got lucky, but you'll take it. And hell,
but
Dan Quinn, you thought he just won the Super Bowl. That guy was excited.
He did, because you don't win games like that.
No.
I mean, I think about, and again, Eberflus, don't insult the intelligence of fans in knowing football. You have a spy on Jaden Daniels.
For what reason?
Right? Well, that's the question. So you've got a guy. If you go watch that play, there's a dude for Chicago that's supposedly spying on Jaden Daniels if he's going to run the ball 50 yards.
Well, he's not.
He's not.
Just dumb.
So in other words, why not rush more guys so he has to get rid of the ball sooner? He backtracks and gets there. You get a guy in the back of the end zone, the whole knock it down basketball analogy. But again, the idea of just having the spy there. So now you're going 11 on 10 because that guy was doing nothing in that play. Then you had the other guy that was taunting the crowd for half of that play. So it's basically 9 on 11. And for what? That was just football dumb. Matt Eberflus, football dumb.
It was dumb. There's no doubt about it. To even give him the opportunity to do that. So, but it was a hell of an ending. It was a lot of fun to watch.
That was. I mean, and again, I like Jaden Daniels. I'm happy for Cliff Kingsbury. I hate that Washington is at 6-2. The New York Jets continue to suck.
Oh, my goodness.
They have reached new levels of suckage. If it wasn't for the New York Jets, it would be the Dallas Cowboys as the official laughing stock of not meeting expectations.
Well, I agree, because remember, Savior Aaron Rodgers was supposed to turn everything around, and he's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible. That team has no juice at all, and I blame him mostly.
But they fired their coach.
I know. Who was the best coach on the staff, but you fired him because, well, Aaron didn't like him.
Uh-huh.
He wanted to hug him. Unbelievable, man.
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable.
Eagles get a good win. Detroit just crushes your Tennessee Titans.
Well, that offense is just running on all cylinders right now.
At one point, that game was 14-14.
It was.
I was like looking around for that game, went and watched it, and I was trying to figure out how was Tennessee, and then all of a sudden, boom, 52-14.
Mason Rudolph looked pretty decent there for, 5 minutes or so.
Well, and again, Jared Goff yesterday threw for a whopping total of 85 yards. 85. And the Lions hang a half 100 on them.
Unbelievable. They are
it was 12 of 15 for 85 yards.
Those running backs they've got.
Yeah.
Are incredible.
Montgomery.
Yeah.
Who's on my fantasy team? Gibbs had 127, but even David Montgomery threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I guess quarterback was tired. He wanted somebody else to throw it.
Man, Dan Campbell and them, they're just having fun.
Yes.
The Lions are toying with everybody.
They really
right
are,
now.
man. Unbelievable.
Your Tennessee Titans.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of toying with people, if you're not familiar with the name Lily Phillips, you will be. She toyed with a lot of people. We'll explain coming up on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 281 with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Jason Minix here from The Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first and buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs 1-1 after beating the Rockets at the Frost Bank Center over the weekend. They play the Rockets again tonight inside the Frost Bank Center. Tip-off there set for 7 o'clock. World Series, the Dodgers have a 2-0 lead over the Yankees. That series shifts to New York tonight for Game 3. You can catch it over on San Antonio's ESPN AM 1250. It all gets underway at 6.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Hope you're having a great Monday afternoon.
Absolutely.
A wild football weekend.
It really has. The football season's been fantastic thus far, and it's only going to get better.
Aggies with a massive win.
Huge win.
Saturday night over LSU.
Yes.
Texas Mike Elko
struggles.
Backpedaling a little bit today. We'll explain coming up.
Yeah,
Texas did struggle. I had a wedding Saturday afternoon. Now, I walk into that wedding. Now, I'm watching the Texas game on my phone. I'm not going to lie. UTSA is up 35-7. What the hell happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Jeff Traylor will join us at 5:15. But I didn't even go check the UTSA score, to be honest, because they were up 35-7 in the Texas game. And granted, I think penalties had a lot to do with it. I mean, you look at the penalty yardage on the Longhorns. Vanderbilt's obviously a good team. They did knock off Alabama. They're better than we thought, but Texas should have rolled Vandy. But
it got close.
They did get the win.
It got close, though, at the end.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I was watching that game.
I wasn't. I was at a wedding.
I know.
The football season wedding should be out.
Well, it looked like you were having a great time, Jason. All the pictures you posted, you got a big smile on your face. You're having a hell of a time.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I mean, who doesn't love open bar?
Well, sure.
But there were no TVs at that place.
You don't have anything on your phone?
Well, I just said I was watching on my phone during the
you did
wedding.
Say that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I wasn't paying attention.
You never do. You hear what you want to hear.
Exactly.
You know, like all the people that comment on YouTube. It's that way.
There are a bunch of fine folks on our YouTube page.
Yes, they are.
A lot of fine folks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Joe, like the toilet. Here's a guy. Like if you just for entertainment purposes, you want to go read comments there on YouTube. Joe comments, and he doesn't have a last name.
It's not
like
me.
the toilet paper. Like the toilet paper at your local taqueria. Vandy has some grit to them.
That's true. They do. I haven't used the toilet paper at my local taqueria in a while, so I wouldn't know.
Good.
Usually it hits, about 30 minutes after you eat.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
We know that one Toe Ryan has a foot fetish.
Yes.
Almost Rex Ryan-ish. Almost.
I'm not opposed to a good-looking set of feet.
Mm-hmm.
My wife has beautiful feet, by the way. I tell her that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lily Allen. Do you know who Lily Allen is?
I have no clue who the hell that is. But I saw it. Was she in the Stranger Things or something to that effect? But she apparently has a OnlyFans account.
Her husband is the guy from Stranger Things, if
That's
you read the article. But, whatever.
I saw
Ryan
Stranger
Eagle
Things.
sees a headline that talks about feet pictures, and he's clicking on that
That's
thing.
it.
Boom. Yes.
Clickbait.
Yeah, Lily Allen is apparently a singer and a songwriter.
Okay.
And she's very successful at selling feet pictures on OnlyFans.
Apparently.
She makes more from her feet pictures than she does from Spotify.
Well, and there you go. I'm thinking, you don't have to show your face. Just stick my feet out there and go to town.
You've sent feet pictures before,
I
Joe.
have, but you guys don't pay. So,
nobody would pay for those.
You never know. There's a lot of strange folks in the world.
How many people, if you guys want to see Joe's feet pictures, comment on our YouTube channel now. And maybe we'll throw in a World Series ring for somebody that actually wants a foot photo from Toe Ryan.
Now, see, we're paying people to enjoy my feet.
We're bribing them with a World Series ring to see. As much as people always want free stuff, I'm hoping there are no takers on this, and I'm guessing, there might be one or two that will do anything for something free.
You never know. You never know. They're beautiful feet, if I do say so myself.
Now, while Lily Allen is making money with her feet pictures, there is a porn star named Lily Phillips. We're getting music for this?
Nice.
This is one of Pledger's favorites, by the way.
What, the song or Lily Phillips?
Yes. Lily Phillips,
she's quite attractive, I will say.
I mean,
I actually did read this article.
Again, Joe did the show prep for this segment today. Lily Phillips, and I don't know that she didn't set a record. I don't even know if she was charging for this. She just had a goal of 100 guys in a day, and she exceeded her goal 101 in one day. And she put a video out, and it's just bizarre. You got people waiting in a waiting room. It's almost like they're in line to vote. I mean, they're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for their turn. And, you know, at the end of the day, of course, she didn't feel great.
But I want to show you guys the aftermath of what it's like to get run through by that many guys in one day. I feel like I've been hit by a bus. I am so achy. It went on for, how many hours? We went from 9 a.m. till about 11 p.m. I think it was.
Wow, 9 a.m. until 11. Now, here's my issue. This thing goes on for like 3 minutes, right? So I just wanted, that's the good stuff.
What goes on for 3 minutes?
Well, I don't know how long things were happening in the bed. She had like a sore on her mouth.
You think?
Well, no, but she said somebody bit her.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the?
I mean.
But, I mean, this goes on. She's preparing for this. She's got a big old bag of condoms.
Well, you think?
I'm just saying, she was prepared. And then these dudes, what if you're the last guy? You think you get as much attention as the first guy?
I think if you're the end, there's a celebration. I don't know. I mean, you know, it's guy 43 or 68. I mean, you know.
Well, I'm just wondering because there's a set of dudes there that probably didn't get her best effort. I'm just saying. You know, I mean, seriously.
I think at that point you don't care. You're just trying to be a part of history. Oh, Sookie.
Yeah, come here, grandson. Let me tell you what I did when I was in my 20s.
Again, you're putting way too much thought into this. I mean, Pledge would have lined up.
Oof. Well, I mentioned she's very attractive.
Again, he's a part of history.
But after that moment, where you're going to need a board strapped to your back.
He's in the video.
He's in the video.
Pledge.
Oh, Pledge is in the video?
Well, he would have been.
I thought those shoes looked familiar.
Glad you said shoes.
Yes. Well, that's all you saw of the guys. You just said
yes, of that part of the video. But I'm guessing there will be a video of this entire ordeal.
Well, I hope she did. She's going to make some money off of it, I'm sure, somehow, some way.
Obviously.
I mean, she is a working girl, after all. Huh. Sword is not even the right word for that, is it?
I mean,
I can't see the thing because I got a pole that's staring at me.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
There is a poll on our YouTube channel.
Oh, we have a poll on our YouTube channel. Uh-oh. Do you want a foot photo from Toe Reinagel?
Uh-huh. It's close. It's close.
67% say no.
Uh-huh.
33% are full of crap.
I took a poll. Yeah, 33%.
I got to guess like Freedom Ride or people that are just complete trolls want to see a picture of your feet. Or you. Did you vote? How many times have you voted?
Yeah, well, you could only vote once. I might have voted.
Good Lord. What's worse, a photo of Joe's toes or the statue of Dwayne Wade?
I feel so bad for Dwayne Wade. That is the worst looking statue. They just unveiled a statue. What is it, out in front of the arena there in Miami?
Yes.
It looks nothing like Dwayne Wade.
No. No. This thing is so bizarre. It's so bad. It doesn't look like him. I'm not sure who it actually looks like. But it doesn't look like Dwayne Wade.
Poor Wade. Who's this guy?
I'm curious because we've seen bad statues before.
Uh-huh.
Or whatever. Do you not see them before you unveil them?
Somebody saw it.
Well, besides the artist, right? I mean, somebody like Dwayne Wade, hey, here, how's it going? Here's this. Do you not? I don't know how something like that happens. D. Wade said all the right things, but my goodness, that thing is awful.
Well, it's terrible, and I felt bad for him because he actually had to give a speech, and and he's a gentleman, right? So I mean, I would have been laughing at it. You get a statue, that's a big deal. You can't wait.
Sure.
And then they pull the curtain down, and you're like, who the hell is that?
It's bad. I don't know. Does that look like anybody that you recognize?
No.
I mean, in all seriousness, whether it's on Twitter at Joe Reinigo 210, at Jason Menix, at SA Sports Star, comment in the YouTube comments. Who does that look like? Because it doesn't look like D. Wade.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I wonder what picture they gave this particular.
Well, it's a picture when he jumped on the scores table and was pointing down. I'm not sure. Pledge, there's too much glare on the glass. I can't see what you're showing us there, but that looks awful. You do have a microphone, though. I don't know. And then I was starting to wonder, well, did they finish the statue? Maybe it wasn't quite done yet, but they had the ceremony plan, so they rolled out with what they had. Kind of like most of our papers when we were in college. Well, it ain't done, but the deadline's here. Submit. I mean, that can't be done. That can't be the actual finished product.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, just Google Dwayne Wade statue, and it's I don't know who that looks like. I couldn't even tell you. But of course the internet is having a really good time. Who is that dude?
It's Lawrence Fishburne. He played Morpheus in The Matrix.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's close.
That's close. I could see that.
I mean, it's not Dwayne. I don't look at that and go, oh, man, that's D. Wade.
Yeah, no. Neither did he. That's a sad. I felt sorry for the guy.
Like, who stole my jersey? I mean, it's a bad Halloween costume.
I really felt sorry for the guy.
Art Garcia on our YouTube says it looks like Martian Wade.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. It kind of does. It looks like him just in general, right? I mean, honestly.
It's
not good, Miami.
Bear County Social Apparel says Antoine Walker. Maybe.
Perhaps.
I mean, closer.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's a photo there. It doesn't look like Dwayne Wade.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, congratulations, D. Wade. You got a statue, buddy.
The good news is the statue's incognito.
Yeah. But it's wearing his jersey.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. I don't know. It's the
Keldon
Blitz.
Johnson wanting his 3 back.
What? What? Does he? Does he really?
No.
Oh. Well, you can't throw something like that out there. I thought you saw something.
It's number 3.
Well, with Miami.
Right.
Not the Spurs.
I'm just saying. Keldon may be playing in Miami next year. Who knows?
You're not trying to start something?
No, not at all.
All right.
No, of course not.
Well, let's talk about that number 0 and the number 3 and the number 1. Let's talk Spurs. 500 on the season already. It is the Blitz here on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the morning huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have to ask the sun. At some point, is that ever going to be addressed?
Talking about it
In the stadium, the 325 sundial effect. It just seems something that we can fix. Let's put some terms up.
Okay. Noted.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What comes to mind when you hear the word gratitude? Maybe you think about your friends and family and how happy you are to have them. Maybe it's a tough moment in life right now, and it feels a little hard to be grateful. There is, however, one thing in life we don't often show enough gratitude for: ourselves. We've all made it through a lot, and even when it feels like we don't have much to show for it, we still have ourselves. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, including you. A great way to give yourself some thanks is to invest in your own well-being. If you're interested in starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a wide variety of expertise, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Let the gratitude flow. Visit BetterHelp.com/remedy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/remedy.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, MRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can always comment there. Hit the thumbs up button while you're there. Go to sasportstar.com. If you did some grilling over the weekend, upload those photos for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. I didn't do any grilling this weekend.
I did. Yesterday, went over there Saturday, got a couple of those steaks that were on special.
Yeah.
Woo, delicious.
That's what's going on my grill tonight. My kid was in town. We had a wedding on Saturday. She was the maid of honor. And then yesterday I was going to do steaks, but she wanted to go out for dinner before going to the airport.
Oh,
so
how nice.
We did that.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, dude, whatever she wanted, you're going to do. It wouldn't matter.
True.
Where'd you go?
We got Chinese food.
Oh.
That's what she wanted?
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. All right.
You give me crap. Your daughters get what they want.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, one of them had you playing grandpa the other day.
That's true.
Can we tell a funny story?
Sure.
So Saturday morning, I go to vote. And I'm walking up at the end of the line going, all right, this line doesn't look too bad. I'm not really paying attention. And then I realized the dude in front of me's got the ugliest looking elbow. and I was like, Reiniger, what are you doing here?
It was me.
It was Joe.
No, you didn't say that. You said, boy, that sure is an ugly elbow.
I did.
That's exactly what you
That's
said.
how I realized it was you. I mean, you were trying to be all like, I don't want anybody to recognize me. I'm looking as bad as a D-Wade statue right now. Put on a hat, sunglasses. And I walked up and I really
look good.
And but I wasn't paying attention. And just of all people, it's you. But I didn't realize it was you until I saw your elbow. Right?
Right.
And, boy, your elbow looks bad. But there's a little kid in line who was doing a wonderful job of being entertained for the hour or so that we waited to vote. And Joe at one point says, I'm so glad I don't have to do that this weekend.
Well, I'm just so happy I don't have to do it, period. I mean, my goodness, right? I mean, kids are great, love them, but I did my time. And so it's, I don't mind the grandkid because, well, you give them back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just it's a special moment, and then they get to go home. So, but it was nice because I didn't do a lot of anything yesterday. I had my new special box on the TV and watched just about every football game there is.
It was awesome.
It was fantastic.
It really is. And again, you think about the football that you're watching, Saturday voting, all the college football the rest of that day. And that was the thing. Let's knock this out early.
Yeah.
And before football starts.
It would take us about an hour.
Yeah.
Roughly to get in there.
Yeah.
It was about an hour. I drove by the place today. And the line was crazy. I mean, it's nuts, which is a good thing, though. I'm glad everybody's voting.
One of the things, it's weird. You just got to commit yourself, and I'm going.
You have to.
There are some businesses, though, that will let you off work to go vote. So I think some people like to wait until, do it on work time as opposed to my time. But Saturday morning, it was like, all right, I've got about an hour. And I was hoping. I pulled in. It was the third time I've actually tried to go early vote.
Oh, yeah?
First two times I saw the line and said, nope.
Nah.
And I saw the line and was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
And got it done. Feels good to vote.
It really does. It was good that, we got it done. We got it over with. We did our civic duty, and now.
Got it done, got it over with. Like we're going to the dentist.
Well, I wish the ads would stop. What was funny about that yesterday, I'm watching on the so you get channels from all over the country. And these political ads keep coming up of people I've never heard of, and it's just weird. And there must be some bad people because these ads were going after them.
Dude, I'm telling you, this our Joe got the same magic box I do for television. And you get channels from everywhere.
Yes.
And it's all the same, just different crap.
It is.
Right?
It is. Yeah.
But man, there's some. Well, I'm glad I don't live there. My goodness, what's going on?
I have to vote for that guy.
Wow. Or the different issues.
Right. Yes.
Uh-huh.
But yesterday was fun, and it was a very enjoyable day. And it just keep going. So I've got money on certain games, so I'd watch them more so than the others. But just flipping around, seeing what everybody's doing, and it was great.
Well, and you could do that with all the NBA games.
I know.
Spurs and Rockets
yes.
tonight. Another game with the Rockets. Now, I don't think we have the audio of Jeremy Sohan talking about playing the Rockets, but we play the Rockets like 71 times in the first month of the season. And Jeremy gave a politically correct answer and then was like, F the Rockets. And I think a lot of us agree with that. Solid win the other night for the Spurs. I didn't actually watch it because I was at a wedding because, well, it was a wedding during football season. But had I been home, I don't know how much of the Spurs I would have watched because of football. But reading about it, Spurs seemed to, well, they got the win, so they played better.
Well, they had to hang on to get the win, right? And I didn't watch a lot of it either. I'll be totally honest with you. But they had to hang on. I think they had a pretty big, sizable lead there for a while. They did, and then had to hang on. They only win by 3. The fourth quarter was not good. I'm sure Pop wasn't happy about it, the team's effort in the fourth quarter. But it's early for NBA, especially when there's still football going on.
And there's going to be football on tonight.
Well, maybe.
And the World Series.
The Giants in Pittsburgh. I wonder who came up with that.
I'm sure at one point they thought that was going to be a good matchup.
I guess.
But you look at this game tonight, you've got the Spurs playing, and you have the World Series. What do you think you will watch more of? I mean, there's 3 games a lot of us are interested in. You're flipping back and forth, or you got your main TV and then the side TV. Whatever the case is, what do you think gets more attention tonight?
Well, certainly football and the World Series, because look, if the Yankees lose tonight, you might as well forget about it. I mean, seriously, they got to win tonight. Not a
must win.
But it's a game that they certainly would like to win.
Well, sure, Joe.
They haven't been hitting the ball well. You know where Aaron Judge is? He's on a milk carton somewhere.
But again, the question wasn't that complicated. You got 3 major games tonight. What do you think you watch more of?
Well, it depends on how the games go, right? I mean, I'll watch all 3 at some point in time, but it depends on how they go. If the football game's a blowout, I'll probably blow that off and go World Series Spurs.
All right, say the football game isn't a blowout, but it's not a great game, but it's not a blowout.
Well, it's still football.
It's still football.
Football.
So you answer your own question.
Yes.
Giants, Steelers, it's football.
It is.
It's the NFL. Unless you're passionate about the Yankees or the Dodgers. Because even Spurs and Rockets, Art Garcia saying Spurs and Rockets would be number 1 for him. It's game 3.
It is. Who said that?
Art Garcia on YouTube.
Oh. Okay, gotcha. Well, it depends, too, because I'm a degenerate gambler, so I won't have any money on the Spurs-Rockets game.
Then you're not a degenerate.
Well, maybe I will. The Rockets are actually favored tonight. And I might have it. I might have a little something on the World Series.
You might.
I might.
Maybe.
The Yankees are going to win tonight.
Yankees are going to win.
They're going to win. That is a Reinagel guarantee.
Uh-oh. Wow. Yeah, I was leaning Dodgers anyway because the pitcher. Now with that Reinagel guarantee. How were your picks this week on Prime Picks?
I don't know. I haven't added them up.
That's
I didn't do well in the NFL. I know that.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm hoping I went 500, to be totally honest. I got 9 picks right on our football challenge on SanAntonioSportsStar.com.
I think that's where I'm at, 9 of 15.
Something like that. Alex Andrews already making fun of me. Apparently she's got 11 right.
Oh, well, I mean.
Whatever.
Well, I know I got the San Francisco pick right because I picked them to beat the Cowboys.
I did.
And they did. Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, did the Steelers find the cure or are the Giants back?
And Rockets Spurs Part 2. Could the Spurs win back-to-back? We'll talk all that and more. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, UL Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Smoky Moe's Texas Barbecue, the best neighborhood barbecue in San Antonio, is now taking orders for Thanksgiving smoked turkeys and holiday parties. Hurry, their whole smoked turkeys sell out every year. Order a freshly smoked, perfectly seasoned turkey and add their delicious side dishes for your best Thanksgiving dinner ever. Having a holiday party? Let Smoky Moe's bring the food. Choose from their classic Texas barbecue to their special holiday catering menu. Order now at SmokyMoe'sBBQ.com or call a Smoky Moe's near you. Smoky Moe's, the pit is lit.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, #1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, eligible trade-in on Go5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
What's on? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
2nd and goal at the 7. Snap is back. Looking around. Prescott
Wide
floats
open.
it down to a wide open C.D. Lamb on the left side of the end zone. Touchdown, Cowboys. Wow.
Wide open.
Yeah, he was. We could have thrown passes to C.D. Lamb in that case.
The question is how. And C.D. got open a couple of times. C.D. had a solid game yesterday.
He did.
Dak Prescott did not. 2 more interceptions. The turnover machine is back. Cowboys lose by 6. Yet, I'm curious. Now, I made a vow to myself at the beginning of the season. I wasn't going to let the Cowboys ruin my Sundays or my Mondays this year because my expectations weren't great this year for this team. I don't like the way Jerry put together this team in the offseason. You take a quarterback that needs help and you gave him less to work with.
Yes.
That's not a good formula for success, and we're seeing that play out.
You gave him a truckload of money, too.
You did.
Yeah.
But, again, he was going to be the quarterback this year regardless.
Yes.
So I'm not worried about the contract. I don't give a damn. He was going to get paid. And this year he was going to be the quarterback anyway. So that contract has nothing to do with the way this team was put together or what you're seeing on the field this year. Now, next year, the year after that, we can do that. But there's no point of bitching about that contract this year because he was going to be the guy this year.
I can bitch about it.
Well, of course, because it's low-hanging fruit. That's all you have.
I'm going to bitch about it.
Exactly. But you look at that game yesterday. The Cowboys played well, except the third quarter. Why? I mean, and what's going on at halftime? Because they've been bad in third quarters all season. And yesterday, it was a disaster. Defensively, offensively, they kept going 3 and out. The play calling was bad. The execution was bad. But overall, they didn't play that poorly of a football game.
No, it wasn't, actually. I had the lead at halftime, and then I guess they took a nap or had barbecue in the locker room. I don't know what happened, but San Francisco was ready to play, and the Cowboys weren't in that third quarter. I mean, it's just that simple. And so, I don't know what's going on in their locker room at halftime, but it has not been good. And San Francisco is San Francisco. I mean, it's just a team that Dallas can't seem to get by lately, and that's just kind of their kryptonite right now.
When you look at the Cowboys, and Dak wasn't good yesterday. I don't know if Mike McCarthy was good. You look at the run game. You get Dalvin Cook gets elevated. Rico Dowdle's sick, so he's out. And as a guy that's coming off of a cold that I've had for a couple of days, and you know how bad you feel when you're not feeling good, why was he even on the field signing autographs before the game if he's sick?
I have no idea.
Right?
He couldn't have been that sick.
I mean, I'm curious. Well, you're not good enough to play, but you're out there during warm-ups, and you're signing autographs. When I heard he was sick and he got sick on the plane or whatever, I mean, it's going around, it happens. And when you don't feel good, you don't feel good. Ask Debo last week. I mean, he ended up in the hospital for 2 days with pneumonia.
And he played yesterday.
And played pretty damn well. But when you look at the overall issues of the Cowboys, besides Ford, because he's going to get his share of blame, and he should, but is it fixable? Or are you getting close to the point of there's no hope for this team, especially looking at their upcoming schedule. You'll get Micah Parsons back, but that's the only help that you really see coming from the injured guys.
No, that's it. But I said these next two games I think will tell a lot. Now, Atlanta's defense is beatable, but they can put points up on the board, and obviously the Cowboys' defense is beatable. So that's going to be an interesting game in Atlanta. And then you're right. They've got, Philly after that. You got Houston coming up. You got Washington coming up. So, yeah, the schedule's tough.
It is. And again, Mike McCarthy, it's not like he forgot how to call plays, right? But the offense has a lot to be desired with the calls that we're seeing, the plays that we're running, especially these scripted plays. Like, man, Mike McCarthy, aggressive. You win the toss, we're going to take the ball. Let's go down and try. And those are your first scripted plays? We even talked about that in our group text. Like, really?
Yeah.
The hell is that? Coming out of halftime. You know, first play is a flat route to the tight end for no yards. What the hell is going on?
You know, I don't know, and I don't know what's changed with Mike McCarthy. Obviously, the offensive line is not playing well, so that's different. You don't have Brandon Cooks. He finally got things going late in the season, but he really wasn't a factor early on. CeeDee Lamb played well last night, but he's got no help. There's nobody else. I don't know where Jalen Tolbert is. Do you? I mean, when Kevontae Turpin is your second wide receiver, that's not good.
I look at Tolbert. Let me find the stats from yesterday. What did Tolbert do yesterday? Hang on.
Was he on the field?
He was. He had 3 catches for 44 yards.
Okay. All right.
Not near enough. And you bring up Turpin, had the 1 catch for 16 yards, also had a drop that could have been a game-changing type of play on what was a perfect pass from Dak Prescott. For all the negatives that Dak had in yesterday's game and some of the bonehead plays, that was a perfect pass, and it bounces off the face mask of Turpin. He's got to make that catch. As an NFL wide receiver, you have to make that catch.
You do. I agree. And since it was the one good pass Dak threw yesterday, you want to see that happen. I'm kidding. I'll get off poor Dak.
No, you won't. Nor should you.
No, I shouldn't. Look, they've got an issue with wide receivers, obviously. And then you've got Jake Ferguson, who has not been spectacular the last couple of games. So that's an issue too. But to me, it starts with that offensive line and no running game. And I don't know why Mike McCarthy does not continue to run the football. I mean, I think any running back in the league will tell you, you want to get into a rhythm. You want to get into something, and he doesn't do it. Zeke carried the ball, 10 times yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
And you give Dalvin Cook 6 carries? I mean, you got 16 carries between those two yesterday. That's it. I know they fell behind in that third quarter, but still, the first quarter, the first half, why are you not just pounding the football?
Well, and again, you look and you talk about that. I mean, as a team, the Cowboys had 19 carries for 56 yards. Brock Purdy had 8 carries for 56 yards.
Yeah.
By himself. Mm-hmm. He was a big-time difference maker. In, again, that third quarter where you went 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, no establishing the run. At some point, you run the ball, even if you are going to go 3 and out, just to bleed time off the clock and give your defense a bit of a rest. We hear Mike McCarthy talk about complimentary football all the time, and sometimes, you got to help out your defense as an offense. And his play calling didn't allow that to happen. They were off the field in a hurry. And the reality is this team just isn't good enough top to bottom. I mean, and you're getting average play from Dak Prescott this year. You're getting average play at best from Diggs this year, at best. CeeDee Lamb had a good game yesterday. Ferguson isn't living up to expectation. Nope. The offensive line, Zach Martin gave up a sack yesterday. Terrence Steele has turned into a turnstile. Stephen Jones on 105.3 The Fan was asked this morning, and he thought that this team just quite isn't good enough.
No, I mean, I just think, this team's made up of a lot of the same players that won 12 games the 3 prior seasons. I think it's, right now we're just going through adversity. We've had more than our share of injuries. It feels like this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball, coupled, with a new staff and a new scheme. So on the defensive side, I do think we've got really good football players. It's a matter of getting them, executing together and getting after it. But no, I think we've got, really good football players. And at times, we've had spurts where we played well, and obviously at times we're not playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I think more of those than the other. They're not playing well. Look, I thought it was a great game in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive battle. Both defenses were playing well, and the Cowboys were able to do some things. It's just I would love for somebody to tell me just be a fly on the wall in that locker room in halftime, and see what they're doing, what's being said. And obviously, you've got a head coach on the other side who's a creative guy. But to me, last night was more about. I really think Brock Purdy saved San Francisco's behind with his legs, and Dak doesn't seem to have that ability anymore.
Dak can't run the ball anymore.
And that's a problem because you need a mobile quarterback in that respect, especially if your offensive line is garbage.
Well, and offensive line is garbage, and you have no run game. So Steven can tell us a lot of the guys are back from last year, and that's true. But we all know rosters turn over every year in the NFL, and so – yeah, you have some guys there, but I don't know. I mean, Tony Pollard would be nice right about now. And if it's not Tony Pollard, somebody else that can be an effective running back. The fact that the Cowboys don't have an effective running back from Rico to Zeke to Dalvin Cook to Deuce Vaughn, they don't have one. You saw San Francisco. All right, McCaffrey's out. All right, let's go with Mason. All right, Mason gets hurt. Here's a guy that's a rookie, can come in and run the damn ball. You look around the league, every team has running backs. Seemingly, they might be young guys. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't, but they can all go in and run the ball effectively. And the Cowboys don't do that. They know they can't do that. They don't even try, really, to run the ball, which, if I remember right, isn't that one of the reasons why Mike McCarthy got rid of Kellen Moore? Or is he just trying to call plays saying, these are the groceries that Jerry Jones has given me to cook with, and we don't have that running back ingredient, so that part of our game is out. You're one-dimensional, which makes it a lot easier for defenses to scheme against you.
Well, that's exactly right. There's no threat. I mean, the defense can pin their ears back because they know they can't run the football. But that's what I'm saying. At some point in time, McCarthy's got to commit to the running game. He has to. And with the way Dak is playing, with the way that offensive line is playing, look, you go to that offensive line and say, you know what, we are just going to bang away. And let's see what we can do. Let's get physical because the Cowboys have not been physical at all this year. I mean, the physicality of that football team has been non-existent. So talk to that offensive line and say, look, we're going to get physical here. We're going to run the football, whether that's Dalvin Cook, Rico Dowdle, or Zeke Elliott, whomever. But you got to commit to the run, and I just don't see the Cowboys committing to the run at all.
And that's why you have so many 3-and-outs. I mean, it's easy to defensive scheme against the Cowboys. The idea that, you look at late in the half, they go 3-and-out when they get the ball back, and, then they go 3 plays, throw the interception coming out of halftime, 3 plays punt, 3 plays punt, and now the game's getting kind of out of hand. You get on that 10-play, 56-yard drive, and I even texted you. I'm like, well, here comes Dak padding his stats.
Yep. That's what he does.
And again, but they are better in the 2-minute, 4-minute type of offense.
Well, then start with that.
You wonder, what do they need to do in those situations? Now, also, defenses play a little bit different, although I thought San Francisco was still coming after them. It's not like they went to the prevent defense that prevents nothing. They seem to be still playing their defense, but Dak was getting into a rhythm with CD, getting on a roll. They got those 2 touchdowns, and then, of course, they get the ball back, and, 4 not-so-great passes from Dak Prescott. 2 of them were awful. One of them should have been intercepted by Fred Warner.
Yeah, that was a really bad last drive for Dak Prescott. It really was. He didn't do anything. and it was just awful. But and if you're San Francisco or any team Dallas plays, how in the hell does CeeDee Lamb end up with 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards receiving? I don't understand that. As a defensive coordinator, if I'm playing the Dallas Cowboys, saying, I don't care, one of the Jalen's, Turpin, Ferguson, I don't care who they are, CD ain't beating us. But last night, and especially late in that comeback, CeeDee Lamb was wide open. And I for the life of me, do not understand that.
Some of that, on that one touchdown pass, that was just a brilliant play design. So as much as I'm going to bitch about Mike McCarthy today, you got to give him a lot of credit. That play design was incredible, and he got it. That play was called against the right defense because, CD was on one side, came across, and nobody picked him up because of all the other traffic. Everybody kind of got lost. There were some weird plays in there, like, with that pass interference, 2 flags fly, and they decide that wasn't a penalty. I'm still not sure how that wasn't a penalty, but that's not why the Cowboys lost the game. I'm pretty sure San Francisco would have scored there on the next play, even if there was a penalty. Right? But, it just kind of felt like when it snowballs against the Cowboys, it really snowballs against the Cowboys. 2 guys see it, throw a flag, and then yeah, that wasn't there. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, because if 2 guys do it, if one guy does it, okay, I made a mistake. But obviously 2 people saw the same thing. I didn't understand that either. But now the Cowboys, look, they almost came back, and I think a lot of that was because of just oopses from the Niners defense. I mean, they got soft. I mean, I think they got soft, and maybe you're up 27-10. You think you got a game in the bag, and I think that's what they thought. And it almost bit them in the behind.
I just, that third quarter, opening drive touchdown, 5 plays. Get the interception, 7-play drive touchdown. Force the Cowboys to punt after a 3-and-out, 9-play drive touchdown. That third quarter, and outside of that third quarter, and again, Cowboys played well yesterday. And defensively, give them credit, but the snowball in the third quarter, just too much to overcome. They can't have those mistakes. They're not a good enough football team to have those kind of mistakes. Period.
No, they're not. You can't have those. You can't have those. And just think about the different conversation we'd be having today if the Cowboys would have continued to play well in the second half and win that game. And then you're talking about, San Francisco imploding and the Cowboys now, just a game back. And it's a completely different conversation. And that's how big that 6-point loss, do you build on that maybe somehow, some way when you go up to San Francisco and you actually played them well in a half or 3 quarters? I don't know. Is that something that the Cowboys can build on? Either way, they're 3-4, and the schedule doesn't get any easier.
No, but with all the division games in front of them, I suppose there's hope. But again, this team isn't going to make a playoff run this year. It's just not. They're not good enough as a roster, and the help that's coming isn't there.
Well, they don't have the NFC East to beat up on anymore.
Well,
because Washington is good. Philly is good. Philly looked great yesterday in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
They really, relying on Saquon Barkley more and more and more. And can you imagine with that Cowboys run defense what Barkley's looking at? Oh, my goodness.
Lord.
Woo, holy cow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Told you.
Yeah.
Don't let the Cowboys ruin your Sunday this year.
Yeah, no.
Life is better.
I'll be surprised if they make the playoffs, to be quite honest.
You almost wonder at what point do you start trying to make sure you're in the top 10 for the draft pick?
Yeah, maybe so.
At what point do you just really start to tank to be able to, I don't know, go get some reinforcements? Or, even though Jerry and Steven have said they won't do it, do they get aggressive at the trade deadline? As you go back to, what was it, 18-19 when they traded for Amari Cooper?
Yeah.
And that turned their season around, and it has that kind of feel to it this year. But can they get a running back? Can they get another wide receiver? Can they get they're not going to trade for anybody. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The back-to-back road trip ends in Atlanta with the boys taking on the Falcons.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-704-9936. 800-704-9936. 800-704-9936.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
This Saturday, be at the Alamo Dome as your UTSA Roadrunners take on the Memphis Tigers. And remember to wear black. It's the lights out game and UTSA salute to local businesses. Tickets start at just $21 at GoUTSA.com. It's the UTSA Roadrunners hosting the Memphis Tigers this Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football. It's more than a game. It's an experience. Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates dates do vary.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with last chance Halloween deals. Looks like Mom's got the old pumpkin bucket stocked with the best candy, starting at $5.99.
Lucky pumpkin bucket. Oh, there's Dad party planning with a same-day delivery order.
Yes, it's a BOGO 50% off pizza party with Target Circle. Plus, buy 3, save 40% on soda 12 packs with Target Circle.
Nice saves, Dad.
Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Need it last minute? Get same-day delivery with Target Circle 360. Restrictions apply.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Monday Night Football on tonight. Steelers taking on the Giants. It's a game you can catch right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30. Texas A&M Aggies, they move up to 10 in the latest AP poll after they beat LSU Saturday night. The Texas Longhorns fall a spot to number 6. And the Spurs, 1-1 after beating the Rockets on Saturday. They play the Rockets again tonight inside the Frost Bank Center. Tip at 7 o'clock.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
That's appropriate today after that big Aggie win.
You have no idea.
Good little howdy.
In fact, Mike Elko backtracking on shots he may or may not have taken at Jimbo. Speaking of howdy. We'll get into that coming up.
I don't know why he would backtrack. I think Jimbo Fisher is an appropriate target for that.
If you don't know what we're talking, let's just do it now.
That's why not.
Yeah. Glad you paying attention. All right. This was Mike Elko following the huge win over LSU.
We're very honest. We're very open. And this is a real program. It's not fake. It's not a politician running this program, talking fast and BSing everybody. This is a real program. And for all the recruits out there, this is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
Absolutely, that was a shot at Jimbo Fisher. There is no question in my mind that's a shot at Jimbo.
No question in your mind.
No question.
I don't know why you would think that.
Well, the fast-talking politician kind of gave it away.
A real program?
It's not a politician running this program, talking fast and BSing everybody.
Oh, and BSing everybody, yes.
Now, Elko today, at the end of his opening statement, clarified his politician comment. The full quote, no, we don't have the audio yet, but it says, quote, and then just last thing, chuckles, it's just comical that I actually have to do this, but it's necessary. In the postgame, I was asked to kind of give a synopsis of how we sell culture to our program. In doing so, I made a statement that seemed like a very benign statement that somehow managed to be taken as a shot directly at people.
Yes.
Not people, one person.
One person.
Jimbo. But
yes.
He goes on to say, you guys gave me multiple opportunities in 9 months to take shots at people, and I've never done it. I have nothing but respect for Coach Fisher. I've said nothing but positive things about Coach Fisher. I'm the head coach at Texas A&M because of Coach Fisher. I appreciate who he is, everything that he's done. And for anybody in the media to think that that was what I was doing post-game, LSU is asinine. And for asinine.
Wow.
And for it to be about any other head coach who gave me an opportunity and hired me, that's not who I am. I've never been that person, and it's ridiculous. But it is what it is. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows I wasn't talking to anybody directly. So from there, I'll open it up to questions.
Except for Jimbo Fisher. Could Jimbo be in the front row? Hey, Coach, go. You sure you weren't talking about me?
Howdy. Howdy. Hey, you play that again? Jimbo. Or not Jimbo, Elko.
He's saying he's stalling.
Apparently we can't play it again.
Jason is getting instructions in his ear. You can't hear it if you're listening on the radio or YouTube, but they're talking back and forth. So we'll find out maybe what they were talking about.
Who else could he be talking about?
Well, nobody.
He's talking about just own it. I mean,
exactly.
You had this massive win for Texas A&M. That was an incredible win and ballsy to pull your quarterback, to go with Reed, for Reed to do what he did. And it's a night game at A&M. You're wearing the blackout uniforms. You look fantastic, and you kicked LSU's ass.
Yep.
Own it.
Own it.
Own it.
Yes. I would have just said, well, no comment. I said what I said. Let's move on. I mean, that's fine. Who cares what Jimbo Fisher thinks?
And look, Jimbo might have given you a job, and he might be the reason you have the job now because, one, he hired you, but two, he talked his way out of a job because he's a politician that was talking too fast. I mean, you're trying to recruit kids to go there. Own it.
And BSing everybody.
And look, Jimbo was a part of it. Jimbo's a big part of my life. I love the man. I respect the man. This is my program now.
Yeah.
If you're Mike Elko.
That's exactly
you
right.
You own it. Don't backtrack and say, media, you're asinine if you think I was talking about somebody directly. I mean, it's just not there.
It's not there. Don't backtrack. Say it and put it out there.
No.
Don't ever back down, even if you're wrong.
Funny as hell.
Jimbo Fisher. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why Fisher would take offense to it. He's in his vacation home somewhere, just
wait a minute,
chilling.
You know damn well Jimbo would take offense to that and probably called him. Hey, you SOB, you're talking about me?
That's right.
I mean, when Jimbo texts and you read a text from Jimbo Fisher, do you have to read it fast?
You have to.
Howdy.
You have to. He's a fast-talking politician, BS's everybody.
I mean, but like when you get a text from somebody, you read it, you
kind of hear their
mind,
voice.
You hear their voice, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I would imagine Elko reached out, or Jimbo reached out to Elko and probably wasn't thrilled that he called him a fast-talking politician that was BSing everybody.
Well, you got to figure everywhere in College Station, they still read the paper there, I think, right? So it's probably was in the paper and the that's the way it was going. So everybody, he was reading this and hearing about it all over the place, and that had to have been the first question. Were you talking about Jimbo Fisher?
You don't talk about. I mean, fast talking is Jimbo. That's regardless. Any other coach out there, you add in fast talking politician. You're not talking about another program. You're not talking about if you wanted to maybe insinuate that you were talking about another program that might be going after the same recruits. You're not talking about fast-talking politician. You're just politician BSing people.
Yes.
Like I don't hear that and think, oh, man, what a shot at Lane Kiffin.
No.
I don't hear that and go, man, what a shot at Sark.
Right.
Right? I don't hear that and go, man, he's talking about Dabo. He's talking about Kirby. No, he's talking about Jimbo.
Everybody that heard that quote immediately thought of Jimbo Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that heard that. It's the first thing I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Fast-talking politician that BS's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Jimbo.
not a politician running this program, talking fast and BSing everybody.
Exactly. And with what Elko
We're a real program. Because in other words,
well, they weren't a real
they
program.
weren't a real program before because they were run by a fast-talking politician trying to BS everybody.
Yes.
So you can't come back today and say that as a media guy, we're asinine to assume that we were thinking that you might have been talking about Jimbo Fisher.
He stressed asinine too, didn't he?
Apparently not.
Just the last thing, and it's just comical that I actually have to do this, but it's necessary. In the post game, I was asked to kind of give a synopsis on how we sell culture to our program. In doing so, I made a statement that seemed like a very benign statement that somehow managed to be taken as a shot directly at people. You guys gave me multiple opportunities in 9 months to take shots at people, and I've never done it. have nothing but respect for Coach Fisher. I've said nothing but positive things about Coach Fisher. I'm the head coach at Texas A&M because of Coach Fisher. I appreciate who he is, everything that he's done, and for anybody in the media to think that that was what I was doing post LSU is I mean, it's asinine. And for it to be about any other head coach who gave me an opportunity and hired me, and that's not who I am. I've never been that person, and it's ridiculous, but it is what it is. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows I wasn't talking to anybody directly. So from there, I'll open it up to questions.
No, you weren't talking to anybody directly, but you were talking behind his back and meaning Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, he just said he wasn't talking about Jimbo.
Of course he was.
I mean, it's asinine.
It's asinine, Joe. How could you think that?
I don't know.
With what that man has done with this program, nobody thought Texas A&M would be where they're at right now. Nobody, especially after they got rolled early by Notre Dame. Nobody thought so. And what he's done, he's turned that program around in a year, and he ought to be king of the mountain in College Station. I'm sure he is. He can make fun of whoever he wants.
You know, again, though, that's not who he is. That's not what he does. He doesn't take shots at people.
He should. Make him feel better.
You did.
It's asinine.
Own it. I mean, this is his program. Put your stamp on it.
Yes.
The A&M Aggies are ranked number 10 in this week's AP poll. Texas, they go beat Vandy. They drop to number 6. In that collision course now, Thanksgiving weekend, now looking like it could be a top 10 matchup.
Good.
Oh, my goodness.
Could very well.
I believe A&M is the undefeated team in the SEC, are they not? Right?
That's true.
I mean, all of a sudden you've got this A&M team, not only as a legit playoff contender, but maybe going in as an SEC champion.
How about that?
Yes. It's a real program, Mike Elko.
It is a real program. And if both teams, Texas and Texas A&M, remain unbeaten from this point, that game is going to be ginormous.
I mean, bigger than it was already going to be.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. Think about how big Texas A&M will be if they both stay on the course that they're on right now. And when you look at the upcoming schedules, that looks very likely. In fact, let's do that. Talk about Texas's escape from Nashville. And what happened to UTSA? Let's talk some college football coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. And at Quartermoon, they've got a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking from the Better Business Bureau. They also have great maintenance programs that ensures your unit is ready for every season. If you haven't had your heater tuned up yet, now is the time to do it. Call Quartermoon, 210-651-5899. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Get huge savings during the fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West. At Ancira Nissan, lease this 2025 Sentra S for just $218 per month for 36 months, or this 24 Rogue SV for just $258 per month for 36 months. Stop in or check us out at AnciraNissanSA.com. The fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West between Wurzbach and Heidner.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
Hey, James Pledger. The NBA is finally back. Play Pick 6 from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. It's super simple to get started. First, download DraftKings Pick 6 app. Then, select 2 or more players, like Wemby and CP3, and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like points, rebounds, three-pointers, and more. And for all first-time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use promo code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18. Plus, age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. On YouTube as well. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Interesting Saturday in college football. Jeff Traylor will join us coming up at 5:15. His thoughts on what the hell happened. And honestly, I read Greg Luca's article in the Express News. I went to a wedding on Saturday, and I walk into the wedding. They were up 35-7.
It was over, right?
It was. I didn't even go back and check the score, and I was watching the Texas game on my phone because that game was a much tougher game than it probably should have been, although I never really felt like Texas was going to lose the game. Now, granted, I'm on my phone, no audio, and half-ass paying attention to the game because, well, there was a wedding going on, and my daughter was the maid of honor. I didn't blurt out any cuss words, which is, I think, my wife's biggest concern, but it just felt like it was penalty after penalty after penalty. And I know, kind of like the 49ers last night, I never felt like the Cowboys were going to win the game, even though they got it within 1 possession. I kind of felt that way with Vanderbilt, with my half-ass of watching that game. Would that be fair for those that watched it?
Yeah, I would say that it would be fair. Although Vandy is, I tell you what, they're a good football team. Their quarterback made a dumb play, I think, at the end of that game that when they were trying to, come back and get this thing done. But having said that, Texas survived. It cost them a spot in the latest poll, but they survived and they move on. So Vandy's no cupcake this year, especially going up to Nashville and playing those guys. So Texas escaped.
Let's go back to the glorious Big 12 days for Texas. Like those random trips to Kansas where all of a sudden, really, Kansas?
Yep.
But Vandy this year, obviously, they knocked off an Alabama team. They've played some team stuff. They are better, but Texas with a gazillion yards and penalties kind of feels like that was the only reason why it was a game.
Yeah. I thought Vandy played pretty well, though. They were able to move the football against Texas, and I thought they played fairly well. But you're right, penalties did help them along the way.
Now, you look ahead, and since we're not talking about UTSA, this isn't a culture pillar violation. Jeff Traylor wouldn't be happy with this if he were at Texas or Texas A&M. But let's look ahead, because all of a sudden Texas A&M seems bigger than what it was already at. And I don't know that it could actually feel bigger than what it was originally going to be, but it does. A&M has South Carolina, New Mexico State, and Auburn. Texas has Florida, Arkansas, and Kentucky before they meet in College Station.
Well, look, South Carolina is no cupcake either. They've played some teams pretty well. Arkansas, you never know, right? I mean, that's they're a team to be reckoned with.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I mean, you figure they should both win. They should both win out.
When you look at you're right. They're in Kentucky. They're what, 1-5, but they played teams tough. Hell, they played Georgia.
Yeah,
tough.
They did.
South Carolina, they're 2-3 in conference play. But you look at A&M right now at 5-0 in SEC play, a chance to run the table. Texas 3-1 in conference play. Things stay on the same track. My goodness, that game would be, dare I say, bigger than an Alabama-Georgia regular season game, bigger than when Alabama and Auburn were meeting in the Iron Bowl with everything on the line. Texas A&M, the renewal of the rivalry, and if it's a shot at the SEC title game is in play, I mean, can a game like that get bigger than what it already is? I mean, take Texas A&M and put it on steroids is what you're looking at.
No, you're absolutely right. Huge anyway, but yes, if both of them went out up to that point, then it's going to be ginormous.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Mike McCarthy press conference today, the morning after getting trucked by San Francisco. We'll have that. Are we going now, or are we waiting? Okay, because he's not ready quite yet.
He said he was frustrated.
I'm sure
I read that on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're all frustrated. Maybe you can go down to Sammy's Embroidery and Printing and get a T-shirt that says "Frustrated" made with your paper bag, because we're getting to that levels when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Whatever you need on your shirt, on your gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, the Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. If you need your logo on a golf shirt, a fishing shirt, any kind of dress shirt, Sam's has all the big name all the big name brands. Nobody has better prices, and Sammy is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, did the Steelers find the cure or are the Giants back?
And Rockets Spurs Part 2. Could the Spurs win back-to-back? We'll talk all that and more. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Real estate is out of control. Between guaranteed offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's gotten so confusing. Know what's not confusing? Paying someone a low, flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it's faster and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors have known about it for years. With Listing Spark, you don't have to pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't have to leave money on the table. If you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000 without paying $24,000 in agent commissions. And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Contact Listing Spark today to find out how much your home is worth for free. See, it's simple. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on your South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. They lost last night to San Francisco. Mike McCarthy at the podium. He actually started about 3 minutes ago, but we waited until now to hit the play button on this thing.
Several players used the word, I think, frustration in the aftermath last night, which is certainly understandable. But how do you guard against frustration creeping in the farther away you get from the games, and how can that hurt what you want to do?
I mean, definitely. I mean, clearly, I would say frustration's accurate. I think that's very natural, common post-game. And I think today is really the time that it starts. You know, you start your process. You know, the guys have been in through here. But, yeah, I don't see it being an issue at all of moving forward.
So basically, you just address it by we get back to work. These are tasks.
Definitely. Yeah, address it individually. I think just like any time when you hit spots like this, there's more one-on-one conversations. It really starts with the coaching staff. It starts on the plane. Obviously, a very quiet plane ride home last night, and everybody was pretty much dialed in, watching the tape and getting ready for this morning. So we've had a chance to look at it. Frankly, we've started our process with Atlanta. Trying to not stay on schedule, but try to get on the schedule. But we definitely have to move forward. But I think it's clearly understandable that everybody last night was frustrated.
Clarence Hill, All City, Dallas. I don't know if you heard or saw Trayvon Diggs come back out of the locker room and address a media member. Do you talk to him about something like that, or specifically him about with his uniform on, still worried about what somebody's tweeting? Is that part of the frustration?
Yeah, I think that's clearly an example of frustration. But I think we have to be better in those moments. I always talk about staying on the high road. It's part of our responsibility in this business. But I am not ignorant or naive to the fact that this generation, that's part of the world they live in. The social media world, and you have to manage that. That's part of being a professional athlete, and that's part of representing this organization properly.
Mike Todd Archer of the ESPN. When you've had teams in the past that have gone through frustrating times, what are the messages and themes that you've used to get them out of that?
We do a lot of messaging. To me, themes are something that is always fluent. Frankly, from my approach, I think you do need to take the emotion out of the thought process, and that's why I think it's important to start that on Wednesdays. Not as much on Mondays. To me, Monday's evaluation time. It's still fresh, it's still sizzling. And I want it to be that way. I think we all need to feel it. I think it creates the urgency and the importance of what's in front of us. So I think the evaluation Monday on either side of the outcome is critical to improving and growing, and that's what today is.
You're listening to the Mike McCarthy Monday press conference here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The coaches believe, hey, can these guys get it done? And the players believe, hey, these guys telling me the right things.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about commitment. I think just like anything, there's a formula on everything we do as far as getting the plan put together, whether it's a long-term plan or how you train in the off season all the way through up training camp, and no different week to week. Getting ready to go win a football game. So that's why today is important. It's important to always go through the evaluation process, the theory, and understanding that the most important video of the week is the one from yesterday. It's all part of that scout self-improvement. All the other things, the statistics, the conversations are really totally secondary or auxiliary clearly to the fact of your own personal action was what is most important. So that that's the way we'll totally operate. But with that, you got to get the details down. The details it definitely improves the communication. And these are two things that I feel like it's deja vu because I stood up here last Monday and talked about it. We didn't hit the target as well as I'd like. I was very pleased with the preparation going into the game. But for example, we had communication errors on plays 4, 5, and 6 and 7 in the first offensive drive. So these are the things we're just staying on top of the facts and the exacts of what happened in the game because it's specific to how we want to play, and everything's affected by that when you don't get into the rhythm and the run game doesn't get going and the action pass doesn't come off of that. So these things all tie together. So going back to the first part, I just think clearly the details, and then the communication, and then from that you have production, and then the confidence grows, and then the physicality grows, winning, production, and everything takes care of itself.
Sadis of The Athletic. Mike, you mentioned before Dak knows at this point in his career the value of protecting the ball. How do you kind of explain some of these uncharacteristic interceptions, specifically like the second one last night?
Yeah, I think just clearly, if you're always looking at patterns, and the fact when the pressure goes up, from a protection standpoint, he got caught trying to make a play, and we got to be better in that spot. I mean, particularly the second one. There's, that ball needs to be thrown away. We didn't get the leverage, on the release of the stack concept that we were running. Didn't get the proper leverage, so. We come out that, 3rd and 4, and you're in favorable down distance. But, punting is good. I think it's the common sense approach when you look at complementary football. Every series on offense needs to end in a kick. Whether it's a field goal, whether it's an extra point, or a punt. And we will not and we cannot continue to play, with the giveaways here because we're -8 as a football team. And that's the number one focal point of a complementary football team. Playing to that method, and we need to be better.
With how much Dak is getting hit in some of these games, do you attribute that to him slow on the reads, receivers not running the routes, offensive line, combination of all? How do you see those hits coming about?
Trying to think of a respectful way to answer this question.
It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I think in this day and age, at this level, it would be corrected. I just think like anything, there's 3-step concepts, there's 5-step concepts. And with that, there's a time clock when the ball should come out. There's play extension when you want the play extended. So, I can't really. It's just not one general, answer to the very general question. So, we need to be better.
Nick Harris, former Star Telegram. Do you feel like the rhythm between Dak and CD is back, and what was your evaluation?
Well, I think it's improving. I think it's something that they're very conscientious of. No one knows better than them too that the time they missed, with the extra communication time together. We talked last week when I stood here about the group meetings, spending more time, not only with them two, but the receivers and quarterbacks. So, we got to stay the process. We as a staff, had long meetings this morning, and just got to make sure that we're, taking the time in those specific areas, whether it's, that particular topic of the timing of the routes and the quarterback and the footwork, that we're, spending the time that we can. We're not going to increase practice by half an hour, things like that. So, you got to stay within the realm of your training regiment. We'll do that. And, but yeah, I think they're definitely getting better.
And then on that same point, did you see some of the practicing from last week and the changes that you made kind of translate into the game, or is it too early?
Yeah, like I said, I was very pleased with the preparation going into this game, and I think clearly we were very confident that we were going to go in there and win the game, and that's where you need to be week in and week out. So we're still green in some areas. I don't want to be a broken record up here, but we just got to keep working. I'd like to. Said in the beginning of this start of the season, I truly love this locker room. It's a great group of men there that they work, but we need some improvement. And the first thing with that is details and communication is a starting point, and we need to be better in that area.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. We talk about turnovers and plus minus, and you guys have always been on the positive side of that. How frustrating is it to see that you're not where you normally are in that area?
Personally, I'm very frustrated. I think that's, if you want to be known for something as a football team, it's taking care of the football and taking it away. I think I know my experience in this league would reflect that. I quote Brian Schottenheimer. Marty Schottenheimer's probably turning over in his grave right now watching us play. Being -8, so it's a focal point, but. We can't change yesterday. We can only work on today and improve moving forward. And that's our mindset. We know how to do it. We've done it. And but they got to quit being words and exercises and practice drills. It needs to equate to Sundays, and that's our focus.
You're listening to the Mike McCarthy Monday press conference here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Philly was going to win the division, and you guys ended up winning the division, and you overcame some stuff.
Yes, I think all these moments are really good. As you get through them, you don't want to be here, but there's such value to go through adversity moments. You learn so much about each other, but most importantly, you learn so much about yourself. It's the man in the mirror is the biggest challenge, and we all recognize that. So as long as we stay focused on that and deal with the responsibility that we have here, with the externals, and handle that professionally and properly, that's important. But yeah, this is the right mix of individuals. So I feel like we have that.
Garrett Bodell, CBS Sports. Mike, Tyler Guyton's first game back since week 5. What did you see from his performance?
I thought he played okay. We helped him a lot. So I mean, I think he's someone as a young player is part of that details and communication focus, and that starts with me. Because it's never just a player when things aren't as clean and clear. So we like I said, I felt very good about the tweaks and adjustments we made in the practice realm, but it didn't carry over. When we have those kind of mistakes in the first 15 plays, or the first calls that are well rehearsed, that's something we kicked ourselves in the ass today in the offensive staff meeting, because why is this happening? So we need to do a better job, and they need to do a better job. So we'll get to the bottom of it.
When?
Skyler Dixon with the AP. You said it just now a few minutes ago that you love this locker room. You said that several times this year. What Trayvon did last night, does that make you worry at all about your locker room?
No, I think it's part of the frustration. I think it's a part of the frustration of the being part of a very competitive arena. One that like you always do, you prepare for. You have an expectation to win. I can't speak on his specific feelings at that moment, but once again, we do have a responsibility to represent the Cowboys, and we understand that. And I'm not probably the right person to talk about being in that position and what it feels like, but I do have children in their 20s, and in this generation, that's the world that they live in. So and it needs to be managed.
And Mike Edwarder, WFA. You've obviously existed now at the opposite end of the turnover margin spectrum from where you've been the last few years, especially. Is it more an issue in your mind of protecting the ball on offense, or is it a bigger taking it away on defense that's a bigger factor?
Well, I think it's bigger on taking care of it, because just like anything, if you take care of the football every single week, then you're never going to lose the turnover ratio. I mean, at worst, it'd be 0-0. So you have to take care of it. But on the other side of it, our position, we keep track of not only takeaways but the takeaway opportunities. You got to first be in position to take away, and with that, that's where the energy, the footwork, and in the proper angles, and when you talk about the pursuit and finish of the defense and your coverage units, that's how we train. So the opportunities need to go up. We can improve there, because as those opportunities go up, the takeaways go. We executed takeaways at a higher level the last 3 years, but our opportunities are not far off of the last couple of years. So we're getting there, but we're not converting. So we just got to keep working.
When you get guys like Micah and Land back, will that potentially make a significant difference?
I mean, I think their individual statistics in that category speaks for themselves. Definitely they're impact players, and what Jerron accomplished last year, is. Was it best ever. So, and obviously Micah is that impact pressure player. They definitely will help.
Hey, Babe Loffenberg, 105.3 The Fan. Mike, the recurring theme seems to be communication and getting better communication. How do you go about that?
Well, I think like anything, it starts in the classroom. Everything's broken down in a training regimen. You got a classroom environment, you got a practice environment, you have the game day environment. So, and communication is a common thread. It's the fuel that makes all three of those environments rock and roll. So, the classroom environment, I think we do an exceptional job. I think really, in particular, let's just talk about the offensive line group. I think the way those guys, I think when you have a veteran, in the presence of a Zach Martin, it brings a different level to that room. And I've been fortunate to be, been around some great rooms, and I think this is clearly one of those rooms. So I think we clearly have that in a classroom environment. Then you take it to the practice environment, it starts in the walkthroughs. We've been, very diligent in the communication and the volume, and as far as the, how loud the community, just, blatantly point out the declaration, blatantly echo every call. So we just got to get it to translate to the practice field and get it to translate to the game environment. So the process is in place. We need to be better.
And going into that game specifically, yesterday, did you feel like you kind of had the communication thing down with what they were presenting?
I mean, there's nothing that, their defense is, the way they line up in the scheme, it's not of high volume. So when you don't play a high volume alignment defense, obviously you're going to have more movement. So, you try to emulate, their stunt games and on what they're doing. But, the speed of it is really what comes down to the game. So, yeah, there was nothing really what they did, from an assignment standpoint that we were surprised by. It's just, you got to see it in real time, make the call, and go play. So it's really it's part of football.
Todd, you mentioned Micah and Bland. Do you have an idea of what they'll be able to do for you this week?
I don't. I haven't checked in with Britt and them. So as far as their, they had rehab work today, but I haven't talked to those guys about those guys yet.
When you look at the pass rush, obviously, Micah impacts that a lot, but it seemed like you tried to bring some pressure, and that still wasn't getting home at times yesterday too. I don't know if that's fair in your mind, but how do you improve your pass rush when Micah's not around?
Well, I mean, if you can't get it done with 4, you do it with 5, and then there's you got simulated pressures and things like that. So, and I think just like anything, when it's difficult as a play caller, offense or defense, and when you do try to hit things and they don't work, and it's something we talked openly about, during the bye week and the evaluation is, you still got to trust the call so you can get it off. And, I know personally, just last night, I took home way too many calls. The protection, and the hits, affected the way, I called the particular part of the passing game, specifically, with the coverages that they set in their base coverages, and, had a number of things conceptually that you wanted to get to. So, and that's the challenge of it. So when things aren't going right, and it's just like anything in a game of football, it starts up front. It doesn't for both the offense and the defense. And, we got to, we want to get to be able to play more balance. We played complementary football for the first half. In the fourth quarter, and the third quarter was they owned it, and they got away from us too far where we couldn't catch them. So, but the way we played in the first half and the fourth quarter, it was definitely had us in position to win the game.
Clarence,
you frustrating a few times here. You went back to the basics and off during the bye week. I know Dak and some other guys talked about the communication was high in practice last week. How demoralizing that you had that good communication in practice, and then the first few plays of the game, you have communication breakdown.
I think frustration is part of not winning a game, but the other verbs as far as carrying it forward, these are learning experiences. I talked to you last week about relishing this opportunity. It's not about the opportunity of having more and more adversity, but having experience here, I think it is a great opportunity for us to show the commitment and belief that we have, and we need to keep it about football. We can't waste our time on anything that doesn't help us win. And and UConn people are so generous with all this insight that you're giving our fans with these outstanding questions, and we appreciate that. But that's as far as it goes. Because I'm about winning, and everybody's got a job to do. And our job's to win, and my job is to make sure we stay about winning and not get caught up in the other stuff.
There you go, Mike McCarthy here on 94.1, San Antonio sports star. He's about winning. He's also said before that.
We have established a championship program. It's just not the world championship yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a
buy into us
program. Absolutely.
I was play caller was horse.
He certainly was last night.
Well, that was strange what he said. He left a bunch of calls in his pocket. Was that an accurate quote?
Yeah. There was a couple that I saw that I wish he would have kept in his pocket. He's frustrated. He's frustrated.
Yeah.
He mentioned frustrated probably more times than he mentioned complimentary football. Or, I said at the beginning of the year, I wasn't going to let the Cowboys frustrate me this year. They weren't going to ruin my Sundays. I didn't expect them to win last night. I wasn't overly angry. A little bit, but not overly. Woke up today feeling good, put my shirt on. Let's go. Still a fan. He pisses me off. Listening to that crap right there pisses me off.
Well, he stays positive.
Dude, what positivity
He's
did you take out of that?
He's positive.
This is week 7, right?
We're working on it,
We've had the bye
Jason.
week, 8 weeks. So we had training camp, 8 weeks of the season, and you're going to tell me communication issues on plays 4, 5, 6, and 7, which are part of the scripted plays, aren't they?
They are.
What the hell?
So who are the communication problems between? Is it between him and Dak? Yeah, who are they between? Who's not communicating with somebody else?
All of it, receivers. He talked about it on the interception. Yeah, Dak can't throw that, but, he got trying to make a play, didn't get the leverage on the release.
No.
All right, so dirt the ball.
Yes.
Dirt the ball.
Well, he also said, punting is not a bad thing.
It's not.
And it's not. And Dak needs to understand that, and he should know that by now, that it's not. But I don't know. Is Dak pressing? Is he? Is the pressure getting to him? He says it's not, but is it?
He says it's not. The reality is, Dak is trying to do more with less, and that was the recipe that Jerry Jones gave him to start this year. Jerry Jones said that. I want to say, was it at the Combine, that Dak might have to do more with less. Dak is not capable of doing more with less. Dak's a really good quarterback, but he needs a lot of help around him. So trying to get that guy to do more with less is a bad plan. And that's the plan that Jerry Jones, the general manager Jerry, has put in place. They don't have enough receivers. They have no run game to speak of. And Dak is not playing at a high level this year for whatever reason. Pressing, doing this, doing whatever the case is. Dak is not playing at that high level. So what do you do if you're Mike McCarthy? You're the play caller, Mike McCarthy. What do you do to get the most and the best out of Dak Prescott?
Well, I think the first thing you need to do is commit to the run game. And I don't want to hear this, well, we fell behind last night, so we couldn't do it, because that's BS.
It is BS.
They had that first half. They were in the lead. They took the lead into the halftime locker room. So why are you not committing to the run? What is Mike McCarthy seeing or not seeing that he's not committed to running the football? You had a guy out there, certainly. I mean, they're all fresh because they haven't run at all. But you got a guy out there that's been sitting on your practice squad all season long, and you give him 6 carries. Let him run the football. Try and establish a running game. That's going to help Dak Prescott more than anything else. If you can establish a running game, then Dak Prescott is going to have more time because defenses aren't going to be able to tell what the hell's going on. Right now, they're pinning their ears back and coming because they know they're not going to run the football.
Now, in defense, Zeke had 6 carries for 29 yards in the first half. Dalvin Cook had 4 carries for 7 yards in the first half. As a team, the Cowboys ran the ball 13 times in the first half. They end the game with, 19 rushes? Is that right? 19.
19.
So 6 rushes in the second half.
Is that establishing a running game?
It's not, but it's, and they have completely abandoned the run game in the second half.
Well, they fell behind. That's what they're going to say. Well, we were behind.
Exactly.
So.
All those 3 and outs with the brilliant play calling in that third quarter.
Well, and the other thing, Jason, and you're probably going to take this as an attack on Dak, and it's
really.
not. It's just the facts. He can't run.
He can't.
And that's a problem. I mean, for the first time all season, I guess I really noticed that last night. The guy either does not, can't, both. I don't know. But I know that San Francisco had a quarterback that bailed their butts out of hot water several times by dropping the ball and running with it. And Dak can't do that. That would certainly help especially with your offensive line not playing well, if you could take the ball and run with it. And for whatever reason, Dak Prescott's not doing that. And that would help Dak Prescott if he would use his legs.
I don't think he can.
Well,
I honestly, I don't think that he can. Knowing the competitor that Dak is, if he could go pick up yardage with his legs, I think he would. I think that part of the game is left him.
That's an issue then.
It will be for the next 5 years.
Yes, it will.
I said that before you could. You heard from Mike McCarthy. I'm sure he instilled a bunch of confidence in you. Let's hear from you. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The back-to-back road trip ends in Atlanta with the boys taking on the Falcons.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm release your Monday Night Report absolutely free and recorded message line 1-800-244-5506. New York at Pittsburgh tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. New York, Pittsburgh confirmed analysis, pro hoops, and special prop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear him for free on recorded message 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports #1 against the spread. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. New York, Pittsburgh, plus hoops and special prop action. I love to go 5-0 with the season free. John Anthony Sports #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506, or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656-PURE Connecticut.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your wall start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of '98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got Monday Night Football tonight. Steelers taking on the Giants. It's a game you can catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1. It all starts at 6:30. San Antonio Spurs 1-1 after beating the Rockets in their home opener on Saturday. They play the Rockets again tonight inside the Frost Bank Center. Tip-off set for 7. And the World Series Game 3 tonight. Dodgers in New York. It starts at 6 o'clock on ESPN AM 1250.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Yes.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. If you want to watch the Micah Parsons podcast tonight, his guest will be Trayvon Diggs.
How about that? How about he should bring on Mike Leslie, too?
He should.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
If you guys missed this yesterday, Trayvon in full uniform, outside the locker room. You heard Mike McCarthy talking about this in the press conference if you were with us in the last 20, 25 minutes or so. Trayvon Diggs comes out of the locker room to find Mike Leslie from a TV station up there in Dallas.
WFAA.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that? You don't know football. You can't do nothing that I do. You can't go out there and do nothing. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stop playing with me, bro.
Just asking a question, Trayvon. I mean, I'm happy to have you answer the question.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took for that? That's what you got from that whole play, that's what you got from that?
I'm asking. We can talk about it more. What were you doing then?
Wow. So Mike Leslie basically said that Trayvon Diggs was, it was a play that Leslie asked, what are you doing, Trayvon?
Yeah, what is he doing
It looked like he was loafing.
Mm-hmm.
It truly did. When you watch the play, it looked like Trayvon was just kind of half-assing.
In a bad angle, he did push Kittle out of bounds
He
there.
did.
I mean,
at the 1 yard line.
I don't know. Diggs going on a podcast tonight. Well, that should be incredible slander. Commentary.
No, I think it will be interesting, and I have a feeling it will be bash the media session in a lot of respects.
We don't know anything. I know.
Well, of course not.
Jeff Traylor will join us in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Armchair quarterback. What happened with the UTSA Roadrunners? I wasn't frustrated. Well, no, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm frustrated as a Cowboy fan, but I have realistic expectations of what's happening this year. So I'm not letting their play get to me. What frustrated me is listening to Mike McCarthy in the last 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Because I've heard the same thing for week after week. We're 8 weeks in. We've had a bye week. They're 3 and 4. I don't want to hear about communication problems and we're doing in the classroom, in the practice field. It's not translating to the games. We're too deep in the season for what I consider training camp kind of comments.
Yeah, and the communication, I don't get that. Who's not communicating and why not? I mean, it's not that difficult, right? I mean, these guys are professional football players. You're a professional coaching staff. I don't understand the communication gap.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Trey, what's frustrating you, man? You're on the Blitz.
Fellas, So for the last few weeks, I've been calling in extremely frustrated. But the fact that Mike McCarthy was able to have a press conference as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys today frustrates the you-know-what out of me. There's not a team that I hate losing to more than the 49ers. This whole bang, Niner game, that stuff is irritating to me, right? But if 3rd and 5, fullback dive, draw, whatever you thought was a scripted play for a run on 1st down, run on 2nd down, fullback draw to Hunter Lipke on 3rd and 5 of the opening possession of a game that everybody feels could either turn your season around or send you to hell. That's what we decided to do. That could not have been a scripted play, and I don't think that was a miscommunication. That's just Mike McCarthy being Mike McCarthy. And I don't know how he's able to still have a press conference and still call himself the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
Jerry Jones looks sick.
Jerry hasn't fired him. That's why.
And he's not going to.
Jerry's not going to. It's going to be just like Jason Garrett. Well, you're just going to show up one day and the key card won't work anymore because your contract will have expired. And again, I said it last year. I said it in the offseason. Mike McCarthy hasn't done anything to deserve a contract extension, but he hasn't done anything to deserve to get fired after last year. In the offense, last year, first year of him calling plays, first year of the offense, took a while to get going, but once it got going, it was going well. Dak was second in MVP voting under that offense. Why has it changed so dramatically? How has it gotten so bad? I know there's no run game in the offense. I understand the issues there, but just the play calls themselves seem so pedestrian.
We thought they didn't have a run game last year, if you'll remember. And Tony Pollard just managed to rush over 1,000 yards. So there's some differences. And that offensive line is not as good either. It's just not. And it's not necessarily because of the rookies. It's because you got guys that are supposed to play well that aren't. Terrence Steele, Zach Martin. I mean, you guys got to play better.
They have to play better. I mean, the offensive line and Terrence Steele, and I do appreciate Terrence Steele. Yesterday in the open, he doesn't say college, he said Steele High School. And but dudes, I don't know what's happened to him. Since the injury, he hasn't been the same.
Not at all.
And they don't offer any help. That's what I don't get. Dude, that's Bosa over there. You might want to help. That Bosa guy's pretty good. And Terrence Steele can't handle him one-on-one. You know what? There's a lot of guys in the NFL that can't handle Bosa one-on-one. You know what their staffs do? They give him help. The Cowboys didn't give him any help.
Well, he should. Look, he should, and they said Mike McCarthy said he did help Guyton yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but Terrence Steele has gotten a contract. He's a veteran player. He's got to be better.
He's got to be better, but you know what? He is what he is. And I don't know, about the first quarter of that game, you just realized their guy's better than your guy.
Yeah.
What can you do to get him some help? He can't play better than that. I mean, he could play worse, I suppose, but even the best of Terrence Steele isn't going to be better than Bosa.
No.
And so why not try to figure out a way to help?
Well, isn't that Zeke Elliott guy supposed to be a good blocker? Maybe he can chip.
Yeah.
And do something.
I don't know. I don't know. It's frustrating
There's
as
problems.
hell. John, Dom, Joe, we see you there. We're going to take a quick break. Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners. Talk about frustrated.
Yeah.
I imagine he is. Jeff Traylor joins us next. You guys stay on hold. Your calls coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. What a great night in sports. You got Game 3 of the World Series. You got Spurs and Rockets. You got Monday Night Football with the Steelers and the Giants. You want to have a lot more fun watching these games and win money while doing it? Make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing the Pick'em game. Sign up, use my promo code STAR, and play the Pick'em game where you choose higher or lower on player stats, passing yards, touchdowns, three-pointers, strikeouts, home runs. I mean, you can mix and match all the leagues tonight and have a whole lot of fun by playing the Pick'em game. It is a lot of fun to play, and the cash is real. And this season, Underdog is running a special, a promo, or a bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost, where you pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at getting the win. And free picks, they're a sure thing, basically. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. Plus, all new users get a free pick. So download the Underdog Fantasy app. Sign up with my promo code STAR and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy, UnderdogFantasy.com, or download the Underdog Fantasy app. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8th, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at Robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodities interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at Robinhood.com/election.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later, just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks. The unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And, Coach, I got to be completely honest with you. I had to go to a wedding on a Saturday afternoon. My daughter was the maid of honor. Her best friend since, middle school was getting married. And I walk into that wedding, and you guys were up big at halftime. I didn't even check the score until somebody told me at the wedding what happened. What happened?
We came out the second half, and we had an MA on the backside of our protection. Defensive end stripped and scooped and scored. That made it, 35-14. Then they came down and had a good drive. We stopped them, made it 35-17. Offense did a great job. Long drive, answered, made it 42-17. You're feeling like, right before the fourth quarter, you're feeling pretty good. Lost a couple of corners to some injuries. Had a young one out there and a young safety. A miscommunication. One play, a 75-yard touchdown. Broke about 4 tackles, 3 tackles maybe. That put them back in the game. Had a great drive again. Ran lots of time off the clock. Got a field goal. And they went crazy. They went absolutely nuts on a 75-yard drive, unbelievable. Some crucial penalties that really hurt us on the drive. Pretty common the entire season. Then we tried to run the ball. I should have, I know how you like 4-minute offense ran. I listened to you, and I ran the ball on first down. I should have freaking ran it naked, and I was conservative. And we couldn't run the ball the whole game. So I don't know why I thought we could then. It's just poor coaching. We throw it on second down, get close to the sticks, and then we drop it on third down. Punter hits the best punt of the game, puts them on the 3. We strip sack them. I think we got the ball game 1. They recovered on the 1, and then they went 99 yards in about 35 seconds, just on some busted coverages in the back. And we had the ball, had a minute left and a timeout left, and had the ball at midfield, and didn't execute our 2-minute offense. So offense played as good as we have all year, did not execute 4-minute, did not execute 2-minute. Defense was dominant about 95% of the game, about like we have been all year. 5% of the game we had penalties and some MAs in the back, which cost us the ball game. Momentum got going. We weren't good enough to stop it in the day.
Well, Jeff, that is a huge stat as I look at it. 12 penalties for 129 yards. What do you attribute that to? Is that youth? What can you attribute that to?
That's a lack of discipline. There's no other way to say it. 2 of them were intentional, and that's unfair. You try and draw them off sides. You don't care if it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 6. You're just trying to get them off sides, right? So now you're down to 10. The one on Danye, the one that killed us, you go back and watch the video, and you let me know what you'd have told your kid when the quarterback slides that late. What do you tell him to do? We'll go watch the play. And there were 2 more pass interference penalties. I don't know how Denver could have played it any better. I don't know how Thailand could have played it any better. So now you're down to 7. And 2 on offsides on the offense, 4 ball. You're down to 5. And the holding on Houston, go watch the video. And so it's unfortunate. It's those. We've done this before and overcome a lot of that stuff. This is one of those years we haven't overcome it yet, especially on the road.
Jeff Traylor, head football coach of the UTSA Roadrunners here on the Blitz. And, Coach, you guys have won so many close games, some great comebacks, and this year that it just isn't swinging that way for you. You think about the Rice game, you look at this game, and, I read Greg Luca's article in the Express News, and my goodness, I don't know if you could get a better game from Owen, a better game from the offense, and you read the box score and you look at it, and how do you lose this game? Going through the film, I don't know if that's painful or is just head-scratching for you that you didn't get a win out of that game.
Yeah, it's all that. It's every bit of that. It's head-scratching. It's painful. Kids playing their tails off. That's what's getting lost in all this. They really are giving unbelievable effort. And I am crushed for those kids because they're giving it all we got. And it's my responsibility to get them coached better. And nobody wants to hear about injuries, but, our secondary, like, we lost Zay in the game in the corner. We lost Denver in the game in the corner. We lost Ken in the game, our safety. And those other kids are good players, but to put three of them out there together, and you had to move the other safety, it's a brand-new secondary. And we got exploited in the back. And I hate it for those kids. They're wonderful kids, and they're young, and they'll grow from it, but we're having to grow painfully. Our front seven's very mature. They're all veterans. They're seniors, which is why we're so dominant up front. And people want to talk about, the loss of Frank Harris. You'll never replace a Frank Harris's leadership, but you're also missing, the loss of Rashad Wisdom, an unbelievable leader in that back end. And with Ken being injured so much this year, he kind of took his place, and our corners continually to be injured. And we had to replace both those corners, and that's where we really struggled, to be very honest with you, just in the back, trying to hold this thing together. And those kids are wonderful, and they're going to be good for us. But we got to get that fixed now.
Well, as you know, Jeff, obviously growing pains sometimes in college football when you've got a new hand that's dealt to you each and every year pretty much. And so I hear, obviously, the frustration, the in your voice. When you go to practice, how do you change that, or do you?
You mean the frustration in my voice?
Yeah, the voice. Obviously, you're down. Things aren't going well, and you don't, you sound down, obviously. But to your players, I would imagine you don't want them to hear that, do you?
No, they never see me this way a day in their life, and I can promise you, I hate to say this, they're not listening to the radio show right now. No, they never hear my voice this way. Maybe after the game, that would be a slight lie. After the game, I was pretty hurt for those kids. But no, you put your game face back on, man, and you go to coaching kids, and that's what hurts so much. Fans getting ticked, and media questioning you, and all the things that come with losing. That's been going on for 100 years. That never, ever, 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 ever is going to change. My hurt is for those players. I know how much they give up. I know what those guys have sacrificed to stay here and play. And I hate it when I haven't coached well enough to get them a W.
Jeff Traylor, head coach of at UTSA here on the Blitz. Now, that said, and you probably should encourage them to listen to 94.1. We certainly would appreciate that. But you look at the goals coming into the season, and becoming bowl eligible is still a goal for this football program, although certainly a lot more challenging at this point. How much do you talk about that? And with 4 games left in the regular season for this group that has been used to winning a lot of games and winning some conference championships, to be able to say that, they're bowl eligible, do you talk about that aspect of it?
No, because to get to 6, you got to get to 4 first, and we're stuck on 3 right now, Bubba. And I totally know where you're going with that, the psychology of all of it. But we haven't approached that conversation yet. We've dug ourselves a real hole. Of the 4 games, 3 of those teams only have 3 losses total amongst the 3 of them. So I said this early, and I know everybody, when you're losing, everybody thinks you're making excuses, right? But I said this early. What was unfortunate for this team, us being so young offensively, we needed our home games early in the year to get the confidence, right? I was really worried about us going on the road so young, so early. And now we're 0-5 on the road. Now we've got 3 consecutive games at home. You can't make that up. We have 3 games at home. And you both know we're very, very good at home. 26-3 in the last 5 seasons, as good as anybody in the country. But we got to get to 29-3, boys, or we're not going to the bowl, right?
Yep.
So it's just the way the hand was dealt. And nobody feels sorry for a college football coach who's not winning close ball games. It's all on me. But we've got these 3 home games. Can I get these kids? And we are depleted. I mean, injury-wise, absolutely depleted. If you were to go through and look at our 2 deep, when the season began in fall camp to where we are right now, it would be a miracle for our kids to do it. But I know our crowd and our band, they really give us extra juice at home, and we're going to need all we can get. So we're playing a Memphis team that's as good. You know, the most stars we've given to all their great players other than the University of Texas so far. So this is, in our opinion, talent-wise, the second best team we played this season.
And it's a first for you, from what I understand from last week, Coach. First 11 o'clock kickoff for Jeff Traylor.
At home.
At home.
We have been on the road twice. We beat Army in 22, and we beat Rice, I think, in 23 at 11. But yeah, in the history of our school, there was 14 times before I got here, and we've had 2. But this is my first home 11 o'clock one, so that'll be different for us.
You know, and it's the lights out game, the black uniforms. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, mimosas and breakfast tacos in the Alamo Dome parking lot's going to be good. We know it's going to be a party. But let's talk a little bit about Memphis. Now, help me out, Coach. Their quarterback is he's a Texas kid, right? Denton Ryan?
Yeah, son of a great Texas high school football coach. I've known Dave forever. Does a fantastic job. And, you know, when I was recruiting Seth, we had Frank. And I wasn't going to lie to anybody. Frank was my starting quarterback. And Seth wanted the chance to play. And he went to Memphis, and he started there, you know, pretty much his whole career, which was kind of, you know, matching Frank's career, which is ironic. But I'm glad I was honest with the young man. I hate that I got to play against him, and he's got a really, really talented roster. I mean, that FedEx money is real, and they did a great job of identifying talent and buying some really good talent.
Well, and they are playing well, too, Jeff. I mean, and so it will be a challenge for your guys. But, I mean, I would think playing against a Memphis team, somebody that is that good, for just the opportunity to knock them off, have to be some sort of motivation, wouldn't it?
No, there's no doubt. It's just, yeah, we got to see what we got left in the tank. I mean, we got to see who we can get out there and get them coached up. And we play better at home. There's no way to – I'd just be lying to you if I didn't tell you that. And we're going to need to play substantially better. Now, offensively, we've got some things going here. Our quarterback is playing at a level that he's the future, right? He's a sophomore. All those kids scoring those touchdowns are freshmen and sophomores. And I know everybody in the world is sick and tired of hearing about NIL and all that, but you have to really look at, you know, we've got to up our game there to keep those kids, or they'll be playing for somebody else next year. It's going to be a very frustrating season again. Our defense is mainly seniors. That front seven is veteran. They'll be ready to roll Saturday. And our young kids are getting better. Now, the kids who got injured Saturday, the guys we got to replace them with, we got to get them ready to go. There's going to be a lot of talent on that field for Memphis. And they're really good, boys. I mean, we got our hands full Saturday.
And you mentioned the FedEx money, and I'm looking at all the Texas kids on their roster, which I'm not a fan of leaving the state of Texas if you're a high school player from the state, but it is what it is. But like you said, Owen is playing so well, the offense. I mean, you score 45 points, you feel like you're going to win that game. And where he was, where he is now, just the development, this is going to be a big game. 11 o'clock kickoff. Like I said, mimosas, the blackout game, a lot to look forward to on Saturday.
Yeah, he'll be ready to roll. And to your point, those are kids from Texas that we used to get, right? Those relationships that I've had forever, those are guys that have always been on our roster. And when they're on other people's roster in other parts of the country, it just goes to show you. I know people are sick and tired of hearing Jeff Traylor talk about NIL. I get it. It is part of the new world. And if we don't step up, this losing we've been doing, boys, it's going to get a lot worse because you won't keep these young, great players. We won't have to talk about Owen McCollum next year or Patrick Overmeyer or Houston Thomas or Devin McEwen or Brandon High or Ben Rios or DeAndre Marshall, or Kamar, Missouri, or Big J at tackle. I mean, where do you want me to stop? They're all underclassmen. If we want them back, that's got to be our plan to get these guys back.
Boy, Jay, I tell you what, I feel for you and coaches like you. Honestly, it's just the way things are. And just off the subject, if you know it, is this going to change anytime soon? The NIL?
It's July 2025. The schools take over, so the collectives might go away, and then it's on the university. So we'll see what our university is going to do. I'm looking forward to a conversation with President Amy, Dr. Compost is coming up here soon, so we can reveal our plan.
And in the meantime, for those listening that want to make that donation to the collective, and on that, Coach, if you got a quick second, I know we're running a little long. The news last week about going Nike, does that infuse some money, or is that just all apparel?
No, I think that'll help some. Dr. Compost did a great job there. Very grateful for her. Our kids have wanted to be in Nike for a long time. They've made us a really great deal. I know we'll get a lot more apparel, a lot more brand recognition. Kids want to be in it. I'm not sure about the actual deal. Obviously, she orchestrated all of that, but much props to her and her department for getting that done, because I know our kids are really excited about it. We got a lot of great things. And to your point, Jason, how you feel bad for it. Here's the great thing. It's why I'm so excited about it. It's why I won't shut up about it. The city of San Antonio is as good a city there is in the country. I'll take my city against anybody else's city. I'll take my university against anybody else's university. I mean that. I'm in this for the long run. I want to fix this thing, and that's what it's going to take to get it fixed. And I get it right now. Everybody thinks I'm the worst coach in the world for losing all these close games. If we're going to flip it back, we got to keep these young kids that are playing so well on offense. And we got to replace those great defensive kids that are dominating up front. It's people got to quit looking at it like pay for play. It's the new way of the world. It's roster management. You've got to wrap your mind around this is what it takes to have a roster. That goes for girls basketball. That goes for boys basketball. That goes for boys baseball. I just am the head football coach, so I'm the one that has the microphone the most. So I'm the one that's got to speak about it the most. So everybody gets mad at me, but I'm just telling the truth, and nobody wants to hear the truth, really.
No, we don't.
No,
we don't. Of course we do.
Nobody's mad at you, Coach.
Nobody. And to that point, Jeff, honestly, on our YouTube page here, there's many people listening right now just showing support and love for you. I just thought you ought to know that.
Well, if you'll think back in history, I was doing my griping way ahead when I was winning. Because I knew when this thing turned the other way, you start saying you need something, it's going to be I am making excuses, I am blaming, and I am not. I am the head football coach. It is my responsibility to coach these guys better. But I want to retire here. I want to be able to go to a Spurs game with my white cap on and go to the Fiesta. I want to be able to go around this town and people not be like, that's the guy they had to fire because he couldn't get that dang thing turned back around again. I don't want to ride off in the sunset with my head down. I want to ride off in the sunset with this thing being one of the best programs in the country.
And it will be. And in 30-some-odd years, when you are finally allowed to retire, you might be able to do that.
Well, I'm going to come get a radio show with you two guys, and we're going to harass that next football coach.
We got a chair right here for you.
Absolutely. Coach, always appreciate it, man. Have fun. Saturday morning, 11 a.m., go kick their ass.
Well, sorry, man. There's nobody more crushed about this than me, but I appreciate y'all. God bless and birds up.
God bless, birds up.
Birds
Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com.
Oh, Jeff Traylor. He's one of a kind.
He really is.
And people don't, look, you and I know this, and most people listening to the show, it college football, it happens. You know, we joke about Texas is back, and it took them a long time to get back.
It did. And you see the Jimbo and all the money he got. I mean, hell, let's go back a couple of years ago. You know, I thought Jeff Traylor might be on his way to Lubbock, and he didn't get that job, whatever the case was. They went a different direction. Boy, what a bleep show is going on in Lubbock right now, and I don't know how long Joey's going to be there, right? It wasn't that long ago. He was the next greatest thing since sliced bread, and on the cover with Jeff Traylor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. That is a disaster. You look up in Waco. That job is probably going to come open. In fact, they're going to honor in November this weekend the 2013 and 14 10-year Big 12 champion Baylor team. You know, they're so thrilled they're not even inviting Art Briles to the party, which is kind of odd. And they waited a year because they were kind of hoping nobody would remember, the decade anniversary, let's celebrate them. They didn't do that, but they're not. And Rice, of all teams, they just fired their coach on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Sunday, whenever it was.
Well, it's college football.
Yep.
Fans expect winners, but, it does go in peaks and valleys from time to time. And, this year's a valley for UTSA.
In an unexpected one, I think that's probably the hardest part. And maybe the expectations weren't realistic to start this year, but we started this year thinking this team could go be one of those playoff teams. Now this team has got to fight like hell to become bowl eligible, and that's not likely with losses to Rice and the one that they had on Saturday.
Well,
they were a couple of gimmies
and the
to get bowl eligible
to finish.
Yeah, these next 4 games, you get Temple.
Yeah.
Memphis, what North Texas is doing, and I know Eric Morris lost a tough game Saturday on his birthday, but that North Texas team is legit good.
Yeah.
And then they get Army.
Yeah. Who's playing really well. And this week, Memphis. Dude, Memphis is a good football team.
They
Very
are.
good football team.
And roster loaded with Texas kids.
Yes.
Loaded with Texas kids.
That FedEx money is for real.
Dude, it's legit.
It's legit.
It's legit. Spurs, they're in action tonight. They get the Rockets again. Game night San Antonio coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the Hurt app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. Hurt is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download Hurt now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The Hurt app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. You can learn more about it and the TSAOG Ortho Now Injury Clinics online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, did the Steelers find the cure or are the Giants back?
And Rockets Spurs Part 2. Could the Spurs win back-to-back? We'll talk all that and more. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out, from small degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders. I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates. We are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Get huge savings during the fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West. At Ancira Nissan, lease this 2025 Sentra S for just $218 per month for 36 months, or this 24 Rogue SV for just $258 per month for 36 months. Stop in or check us out at AnciraNissanSA.com. The fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West between Wurzbach and Heidner.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Game night San Antonio. The Spurs taking on the Rockets yet again. Back-to-back games against Houston.
Yeah, they play Houston quite a bit early on in the season.
Get them out of the way early.
Get them out of the way because I think they're going to be a decent team. And it's tough to beat a team twice back-to-back like that. So it's going to be an interesting game. Spurs played better. Much better, at least early on in that game on Saturday night. So they've got to put 48 together.
And again, being a young team, different things, how much Wemby is playing. Jeremy, I didn't see any of the Saturday night game being at a wedding. Reading about it, looks like Jeremy's off to a good start. Wemby's Wemby. It's early. But the Rockets aren't very good. I mean, like, go beat bad teams or teams that are more on your level. Like, did you expect them to beat a Mavericks team that was in the finals last year that got better, adding a Klay Thompson? No, and I like the way they competed for a while, but, you know, what happened is kind of what expected. You should beat Houston. You're comparable to Houston. Go beat those guys again.
I'm not sure. I think Houston's going to be better than you think. I think they're going to be in the playoff chase before it's all said and done. I don't think Houston's going to be a bad ball club. I think they've got some talent on that team, and I think they're going to be better than you think they are. So I think a win over Houston on Saturday night was a good thing. They held off a rally, a Houston rally, and now if they can get another one, that's even better.
That's it. I'm agree with that on that standpoint. The game tonight, 7:00 start. I've still got to get used to the FanDuel Sports Network, the Bally's, right? Whatever, right? The 7:00 start will be good. I did see, and again, being at a wedding and not watching, not to make excuses, but I didn't see it. They honored Bill Land before the game.
Yeah.
And they gave him a 32 jersey. Anybody other than that was Sean Elliott's number? Why 32? I've not seen that anywhere.
Well, I wonder if that was a Sean Elliott thing.
A tribute to?
Yeah, just.
I know Sean tweeted that, but
yeah, I think that has to be it. That they give him a 32, and that has to be it. That Sean said, "Yeah, I want to give him my number." And those guys were
absolutely.
They were
partner
together a long time
for years
yeah.
and years and years, which I thought very cool for them to do that on opening night. To honor Bill Land and the fact that he's there to see those honors. I don't know if you saw over the weekend all the tributes to the longtime voice of the Cleveland Browns who, passed away. And you understand the connection that the voice of a team has with the community. And, we felt that when Bill Land announced his retirement. It's just going to be different. I mean, it happens, but it's different. But you understand that connection with the fan base.
But you watch him, just about every night, every Spurs game that you watched on Bally's. And he's just one of those guys that, made the game exciting and fun. He and Sean Elliott clicked. They had a great chemistry together. And so, you just get to know a guy like that. And just a hell of a nice guy. I mean, he's one of those guys that's just a hell of a nice guy. And you root for people like that.
Absolutely. And again, you look at like early on, and again, 2 games in, the idea that with no Devin Vassell, you're getting a lot of Steph Castle, and I like what we've seen from him so far. Again, early, but
it's early, and I saw a tweet earlier, can't remember who it was from, but saying that Vassell is doing some things. So it looks like he's on track to get back sooner rather than later, and that will help the Spurs. Having that piece back together. I just think this team is going to be much better. They won a game Saturday night that maybe last year they would have lost. And so to me, that's impressive and growth as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and again, I don't think that can be just glossed over because I do agree. This is a team that has to learn how to win.
Yeah.
And have a big lead, blow a big lead, and lose a game was kind of the recipe last year. This year, they blew the lead, but they figured out how to get the win. So you're seeing the growth, obviously, with the young players, maybe the influence of a CP3, a Harrison Barnes, some more veteran guys who know how to stop the bleeding, because when they started bleeding against Dallas in the opener, they could not stop the bleeding. It was like that geyser that went off in Russia earlier today with the sewage. I mean, it was just a crappy geyser.
Oh, my gosh.
There's no other way to explain it.
There's a picture of that thing, and it's just like Old Faithful. Just Old Faithful full of poop.
A sewage pipe in Moscow exploded and caused a giant geyser of poop to rain down from hundreds of feet in the air.
Jeez.
And I don't think you need me to describe that anymore. You can all visualize.
Yeah, and oh man,
yeah,
and it was right in the middle of the city.
Yeah,
so there are some people being sprayed with that.
Fancy high rises there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
And more than that. More than that.
Very runny.
What a night though, with Spurs and Rockets. Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Giants and Steelers. And then you get Game 3 of the World Series.
Pretty good night to be a sports fan.
How do you divide your time tonight?
Wow. Boy, that's tough, right? Because the baseball game and everything starts right around 7 o'clock.
Yep.
So it all starts at the same time. I don't know. Put a new battery in your remote.
Well, that's it. You're back and forth. Again, obviously, depending on how certain games go, will probably end up where you will spend more time. But early on, where do you think you're going to go? If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there. You can tweet at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. I'll watch a lot of Spurs early just because I didn't see the game Saturday. I want to get caught up. And football will start, just after 7. So, little, we get done in 10 minutes, home, steak going on the Traeger, be ready to go. Early part of that Spurs game, but once football starts, it's football. Baseball, though, it's Game 3 of the World Series, and I know I said last week that I don't give a damn about this World Series, and I don't. But the way that game ended on Friday night,
incredible.
That was one of the more incredible sports moments.
Yeah.
Which is why you watch games, why you love games. And then hearing what Freeman said about his father, just takes you back to playing catch with your dad. And if you still have your dad, man, you're lucky. If you don't, that just hit you in all the feels, right? I mean, just watching that. Then they get Game 2. And I don't like either team. But watching the Yankees be in an 0-2 hole is kind of exciting.
Well, I like that, but that's why I will root for the Yankees tonight. I want them to win. So make this a series and go from there. Because I would love to see a 7-game series when it's all said and done. I don't care who wins, but I'd love to see a 7th game.
I don't want to see a sweep.
No.
And I have a feeling tonight, if the Dodgers win tonight, they are going to win in a sweep.
Yes, I agree with that. And that would be unfortunate. It really would. So I want a Game 7. That's what I want. So I will root for the Yankees tonight, even though that goes against everything that I ever thought I would say.
Well, that's okay.
Yankees.
I mean, you're not a fan of the Yankees.
No, and I'm not a fan of the Dodgers either. So,
but we all end up rooting interests, and it's weird in this particular series. I don't give a damn who wins. I would like them both to lose. But I know that's not possible.
No.
But I'm with you. I want to see a longer series.
I want to see a 7th game. I want to see a Game 7, because there's nothing better in all of sports than a Game 7.
Have you watched that series on Prime about 7 games?
No. I mean, you told me not to. You said it pissed you off.
Well, I didn't watch it because they feature the wrong Game 7 involving the Spurs.
There you go.
Somehow that ended up with a statue for Dwayne Wade that looks nothing like him.
That's the worst, man. I feel really bad for Dwayne
Actually,
Wade.
no, that's not the series they did. It was the Maverick series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they should have done the 05 Detroit.
That was the
Spurs.
best.
Yes.
That was the best.
That would have been good.
All right, so you got World Series tonight.
Yeah.
If you're driving around, World Series will be over on San Antonio's ESPN AM 1250. Here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, we have Monday Night Football, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
Going to be a fun night.
It is going to be a fun night. We'll get to the Monday night broadcast right after Extra Innings with Pledge. Right? You're doing a show? Oh, well, you just looked at me like you were surprised. All right.
He's not prepared.
Sure he is.
Yeah, he is.
Rob and AJ get going tomorrow morning at 6. The Blitz back tomorrow at 2.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at SASportsStar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home.